All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for podcast number 67. Yeah. Rewind time, everybody.
Yes. 2018 came to a close.
Yes.
So yeah.
Enjoy, guys.
Hello.
Hello, hello, everybody.
How's everyone doing today?
Looks like we're good. Awesome.
Year review.
Wait, let's sync it up. Year review.
Oh, man.
Eric Wall, good to see you. Peps,
hey, Peps.
too.
Susaname.
Susaname. Susaname.
Is that just the S username? I don't know.
I mean, we say it.
Potato, potato.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Guys, yeah, new haircut, new year, new haircut, and I'm gonna be keeping it as close to this as possible throughout 2019. There's a couple things that'll be changing. It'll be kind of fun. Hey, is that Gooey? Nope. Erwin is my president. That's the funny thing.
Still an amazing name.
Yes, this is the probably one of the weird things going on with our monitor right now. Is all the dark blue names
are very hard to see.
Very hard to see. Yeah. Kind of weird.
20 Fire Boy.
Big forehead
Ramis.
boys, exactly.
Yeah, basically.
Big forehead for big brain. Oh my gosh. Boy. So much going on. Happy almost New Year.
That's right.
Thanks for the clarification, Shy. What would we do without you?
Yeah.
Oh man, are you guys ready for just more? Like this next year, oh my god, like it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. We're gonna be starting it off with the Berserk eclipse.
Right?
It's gonna be interesting.
Next year, actually just going to start off with darkness imprisoning me. All that I see, absolute horror.
Just everything going wrong.
Wait, random question. Are either of you big fans of space agencies like NASA and SpaceX? I am a huge fan of SpaceX. I have been following Musk since like 2009, I would say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and been a big fan of his and stuff. So, yeah, when he started SpaceX with his own money and stuff like that, that really got me kind of hyped and stuff. Because
there was a point where this guy knew like all the facts about every Tesla car in existence and even the ones that didn't exist yet. Like,
yeah, I even kind of got hyped into the Solar City thing, which was funny because that didn't go as far as a bunch of the other things and stuff. Obligatory dad joke. See you next year. Hey, yeah. Ready for tomorrow, Berserk Eclipse time. Have you read the Bacano light novels? Lots of content was missed and additional content was made. It was still ongoing.
Bacano light novels are like one of the main light novel series that I've considered reading. I've heard that they changed the timing of it.
Oh my god, Erwin is my president. Thank you so much for the 500 bits. Let's get wasted on New Year's. JK, be safe. Don't worry, we're pretty square when it comes to all kinds of things like that. Very little partying. We'll probably just be editing.
Yeah, basically.
Like, we'll probably eat some good like snacks or something like that.
Sure, probably.
And then maybe like toast each other or something like that.
Yes,
but
glasses of water. Yeah. Following Musk since the Elon Chan days.
Yes. Yes. It's a crazy year for that guy. Oh my gosh. Would you guys consider watching Parasite? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Parasite is pretty high up on our list. Probably.
The question is just when.
Yeah, it's probably in the top 25 or so.
There are a lot of anime that we need to watch, surprisingly.
Jad the Mad can't stick around, but want to just wish a quick Happy New Year from the UK, or at least it will be in an hour. Thank you so much, Jad the Mad.
You have an amazing New Year as well.
You are the absolute Jad Mad Lad.
Yes. Bacano references.
Right.
Yeah.
Shy Monkeys, hey mom, can I have money to buy a castle? Yes. Actually buys Behelit like a boss. Eclipse time. Actually, it's funny. Any of you guys fans of Blind Wave?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I sent them 4 brands and a Behelit because
all right, tone it down, the evil villain.
All right. Guys, just can you not imagine what like the dark looks on their faces when they react to Berserk for the first time, and Rick just like just drinking in the excitement. Oh yes,
the horror.
It's going to be amazing. Yes, this is an Amon shirt. This is a little bit of trivia. This is the first animated fandom shirt I ever bought.
Yes, that's right.
I have bought a billion Star Wars shirts back in the day, but this was the first one for an animated show, and I got a steal deal on this. This was like a $12 shirt, like for a fandom shirt. That's like a steal.
Oh my god!
It was like, oh my god, wow.
No, it's the thing that like anime shirts are where we pay through the nose because import and all that
madness. Which, by the way, didn't we get some anime stuff for Christmas?
We did.
Yeah.
I got this super awesome... so, basically, I was kind of mean, and I basically said, I want anime paraphernalia, but not clothing, and surprise me.
Yes. And then there you go.
But they did a really good job.
They got you Spice and Wolf stuff?
I got a Spice and Wolf mug. And it's like, it's got Holo and Lawrence on there and stuff.
Awesome.
It's great. Hasn't arrived yet because it's, coming from far.
Whoa, Aggressive Argo with the 1,000 bits! Finally watched a silent voice today. Now one of my 10 out of 10 out of nearly 300 Mal ratings. Oh my god. So yes. That's the best way to start like the beginning of a transition in the new year. Just watch a silent voice. Everyone, watch a silent voice.
Well, yeah, but also like just hearing about like because a silent voice, it's my favorite movie. Like it's my favorite movie. I love it so much.
Oh my god.
And knowing that I got someone else into something that I love is amazing, but when it's my favorite movie, then it's like, it's my favorite thing amongst favorite things, so, yeah. I'm so happy.
See, this is like our personal mission in life, is like, Jacob will get everyone to watch A Silent Voice, and I'll get everyone to watch Avatar.
There you go.
And like, we are unstoppable in that duo, because anytime you're doing Silent Voice, I'm like, yes.
We hype each other. It works very well.
Exactly.
One other thing, Aggressive Argo. The manga for A Silent Voice is also amazing. It's only 7 volumes. I don't know if you can read it on Crunchyroll anymore, but the whole collection is on Amazon for not that much, and it is absolutely incredible. It's a very different kind of experience than the movie, but it is just as amazing, but in different ways. So it still feels like you're getting new stuff, because you really are. But so I highly recommend reading it.
Totally. Ramiz3484. Do you guys know about Boogie Pop? It's an anime that's coming on January 4th. It's a late 90s light novel series that heavily influenced Haruhi Monogatari, Danganronpa, and it's a legendary series that started light novel booming and trend on 1998. Back then, until now, and no, I'm not talking about some isekai light novel stuff. I'm talking proper story novel stuff. Essentially, it's the godfather of light novels. It's a psychological horror mystery thriller series, and you can expect some masterpiece stories.
Probably from it, yeah.
From it, yeah. Okay, cool. We haven't heard of it, but that's awesome.
And the idea of a psychological horror mystery thriller series that inspires Monogatari, but then also Haruhi. Like, I don't know much about Danganronpa. I know a very little bit about Monogatari, but Haruhi...
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Ooh,
we have some subs, or at least one sub. Nobu, Fake Grand Order FGO. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub, and Mario Craner. Craner. Yeah, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the SOS Brigade.
Yes.
Make sure if you sub, any of you like refreshing your Twitch Prime subs or whatever, you have access to our Discord, which is usually Patreon only, but we've made it subscriber or Twitch only as well.
Link those up, and
so just link your accounts up, and you get a special fancy role, and you can chat with us there about all kinds of stuff.
This was a great impersonation of Jacob during the Attack on Titan Season 3 finale, Caleb.
The Attack on Titan Season 3.5 finale,
well,
to be specific, Yes. Or wait, no, this would be Season 3. Next one would be Season 3.5, right? Is that how it works?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe, I think this would be Season 3.
You were quite maniacal, that thing there.
I would love to explain why, but, that would be spoilers of the highest degree, so...
The funny thing is, Jacob, is that having, time to, think about that scene and rewatch it, the theories start to, I feel make more sense, and certain ones start to make less sense. So I feel if we talked about it more at some point, I would have some I would have some good knowledge. Some insight.
Okay.
My insight checks have been really good.
One other thing that happened recently is I got caught up again with the Attack on Titan manga. But basically, I'm not going to talk any details, but because it just comes out every month, so I tend to like let it get a few chapters ahead, and then I'll catch up, every several months, and I caught back up, and I mean, I love Attack on Titan so much. Like,
nice.
I love it.
Erwin is my president again with the 500 bits.
Wow.
I gotta watch A Silent Voice too.
Yes, you do.
Absolutely.
It is amazing. It is so good.
It's one of the greatest anime movies, or one of the greatest just emotional drama movies of all time.
Yep.
Like,
it
it's
shows
that good.
so well what you can do with anime as a medium, because it's not an anime style story. Like, it is very emotional and dramatic, and and in some ways maybe more than a live action like movie would be, but it is absolutely incredible in the way they just put it together, like down to the frames and the presentation and everything. Yeah, it is so good. Like, it was constructed. Like,
there's a scene in the movie that specifically you could not do in live action with the faces that there's a scene, and that scene speaks to, I would say, a whole like section of the planet, and people like need to experience the movie, not just for like random scenes, but for like a story that I feel like most storytellers don't tell. They don't tell this type of story.
And the thing is that there's multiple reasons for that. It might just be desire, but also in live action, it would be almost like if any like director was able to get a cast of people that were able to put like out their acting performances that were on the level that they portray in A Silent Voice with the excellent animation and the voice acting and everything, I would lose my mind, because it would be such an incredible feat to actually do that. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself.
Eric Walt with the 100 bits. Oh wait, no, Eric Walt, not Erwin is my president. Thank you so much. Yeah, Caleb, I'm surprised you didn't make a #Caleb's Chimera Ant-Arc Ending Theories channel equivalent for the theories you made from the season 3 ending scene in the Discord. Well, see, the thing is that because the season's cliffhanger halfway point has footage that I believe we still haven't gotten the connecting point to, the scene in the very beginning of season 3 where Eren is on like a beach or something and his hair is longer. I don't want to make theories because there's this disjointed bit of information where I feel like we're cut off at a point where
you kind of know some things, but you don't know other things.
Yeah, exactly. Like that, so the theories will either be like dead on accurate, probably, and then other ones will be so outlandish because I'm trying to connect scenes that aren't linearly, connected in that regard. Yeah. But guys, we're going to talk about a lot of cool things today. We're going to be kind of interacting with you guys. There's a couple things that we're going to go through. One is we're going to have kind of a rewind time, everybody. A little bit of a look at 2018, and then based on that, what we have planned going forward. Stay tuned for announcements about things like Doki Doki Literature Club Let's Play.
Yeah, not to spoil anything.
Not to spoil anything. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. But also specifically things that we want to have happen in 2019, but also interacting with you guys of what you would like to see going into 2019.
Right. Because the thing is, like, 2018 is a year, right? It really flew by. But then at the same time, I was looking back at like what shows we were watching at the beginning of 2018, and it's like, whoa, that feels like so long ago.
It was
like we were still watching Death Parade. Yeah. At the beginning of 2018.
Yeah.
Like
we were in like
feels
MHA
like another
season
era.
2 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
And like we hadn't even done
full lengths yet.
Well, full lengths, but we also didn't have nice thumbnails at that time.
Nope. Our thumbnails were crap. Shout out to Rop for teaching us the error of the way. He's like, you've lost your way, but don't worry.
Yeah,
here's how you can fix that and stuff. Yep. So first things first. Oh my God, people with the bits. What the heck? We have Dr. Woman Respecter with the 500 bits. Height for Monogatari and After the Rain. You're in for a wild ride. Thank you so much. That's great. I'm
both of them.
Yep. Oh my gosh. But then also, what the heck? Erwin is my president with the 500 bits again. Shinzo Sasageo. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Indeed. Oh my gosh. They're both the same season 3. Same as MHA season 3, having that week break between cores, just way longer. Yeah, exactly. Right. XV Ethan. Yeah, for sure. Oh man. Catching up on chat here for a second. That feeling when Caleb is never the bro who's already watched the show that he and Jacob are reacting to. That was One Punch Man, actually.
Yes, One Punch Man and...
technically, I introduced you to Mob Psycho as well, but we didn't react to Mob Psycho Season 1.
Yep.
Because that was way long time ago and stuff.
Yeah.
Can we expect One Piece manga volume reactions in 2019 and maybe weekly reactions after you guys upload with it? 2019 is a big year for One Piece, and it's a 20th year anniversary for anime, and big stuff is happening in the manga too.
Well, so we're doing One Piece after Berserk, and right now, so the next volume of Berserk is what, 13? Right. Oh, 13. Unlucky and
Yeah.
Well, and if we're doing one a week, and there's 52 weeks in a year, and we're on 13 for Berserk,
right?
And unless Miura really ups his his schedule, which I don't think to that extent is even possible,
right?
Then I do believe the math checks out that we would be starting One Piece
this year,
or next year.
Next year. Yeah, for sure. So the main thing is that, like, you know, once we've got the Twitch schedule more in handle, if we get to a point where, say, we've caught up with Berserk, and then One Piece, you know, we start that, and then Berserk releases more volumes and stuff, we will find a time to make sure that we, you know, react to it if we get our hands on it.
Yeah, depending on how that goes, because with Berserk and hiatuses and actually getting it released as a volume, like, it's a bit tough. Right.
So we're gonna stick with that as a thing there. So right now, we have what, 40 volumes of Berserk, or 39?
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Like that. I think it's 39. But
so, you know, Berserk will take us about halfway through the year, and then
we'll start One Piece. Yeah. But yeah, we're not doing the anime of One Piece. We're doing the manga because we have a semblance of sanity. Just saying. Okay, so
because One Piece would take us like 20 years.
2018. Holy crap! I just want to say, like, I am so proud of this community. No, I'm just kidding. I am so proud of this community. No, specifically with what's happened in 2018. In the beginning of the year, I think Jacob and I were so overwhelmed with the response and positivity we had gotten with you guys. One, when we had started I would say kind of engaging more with the community, launching our Patreon back in August of last year, and just kind of really finding out where we can kind of engage with you guys in a way like this. And then all these awesome people came around behind the scenes to help us make yes, exactly, Shylock. But that did a lot for our confidence. Something that I think we were always kind of unsure about, because Jacob and I are brothers. Like, Jacob and I can talk about anything. Shippers are gonna do what they want, but you know, whatever.
We are blood related.
We are blood related. Yep. So when all this support comes around us and stuff, there's this feeling of, you know, imposter syndrome. There's that feeling of just like, oh my God, like this is so like, I don't know how to, you know, work through this, so we'll just keep doing what we're doing. But then a lot of people came around behind the scenes. I can think of so many people. I don't want to give. It
takes a village. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And then I'm kind of trembling here, but then around the end of the month of January, we put out some ridiculous goals, like around the beginning of January, actually. And the goals were one that we knew we weren't going to hit probably half of them.
Yeah, we didn't. And I would say yes, but even more than that, it was like we didn't even really know what was possible anymore, because we never would have expected what had happened already to happen. So we were just like, let's throw stuff at the wall and
see what happens. And meanwhile, Jacob's full-time writing with the book, and I just, again, I can't thank you guys enough for giving him the opportunity to do that, because so many people have creative endeavors that they go after, and there's this unfortunate thing where you hit a wall and you push through it, but it weakens you a little bit. It kind of destabilizes you, but you keep pushing through. You keep pushing through the walls, but eventually a wall comes up that threatens to break you. And what happens is you need to fall back on what's important. And Jacob had the community. He had you guys. He had basically the opportunity to to double down on the investment, and it's something that I just so thankful and grateful for you guys for doing that. So
yeah, it really is.
So shout out to y'all. Like, oh my god.
Newsflash: self-publishing, for one, is very expensive. Writing a book and how difficult that is just in and of itself, like from the standpoint of writing it, that aside, self-publishing is very expensive because you have to actually pay people to go through your book and edit it, and multiple times. This isn't just once, you know, because you have to do multiple iterations over everything and all that stuff. So it really is incredible. And the fact that now I can, like, say, commission artists to do art for, you know, my characters, which are basically like just OCs of my original fan fiction, you know, that's based on nothing. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, exactly.
Thank you guys so much.
So, like, that's happening, like, while in the middle of this. Oh my god, Art is my president. With all the heart emojis. Thank you, Jacob Senpai and Caleb Chan with the 200 bits. You're so nice.
I love that I'm the Senpai and Caleb's the Chan.
I mean, like, I can't grow a beard, you know. I look like 5 years younger than I actually am. So, you know, it's fine. The eternal debate of, like, which is actually the older brother.
Yes.
And you're... Yeah.
That is actually a great point. Sub to PewDiePie. Sub to
PewDiePie. Do your part, exactly.
Yeah, it's not fan fiction, Jacob. It's just fiction.
I know, right?
Like me making fan fictions or OCs or, you know, AUs or whatever.
Yeah.
For my story is just that's just the story.
Right. It's like, wow. Oh my god. So then, you know, February hits and stuff, and you know, we're starting to, like, implement the goals and stuff. You're getting actual editors to help us with the videos and stuff.
Yeah,
and
that made our lives so much easier.
Yeah, and I think it was actually right around the end of the previous year, end of 2017, where we started the podcast. And yet this was something where there was this small core group of you guys, and because you guys are here, so you are guys probably some of the ones that were here from the beginning of us doing the podcast. And people were like, we really love your discussions, but can you like dedicate some of it to doing, like, you know, those really nice snappy videos or something like the people do that are like those 10-minute, like, discussing that part of a story. And we're like, that terrifies us. Yeah. Like, we don't have editing skills at that time. Like, we nothing. So we're like, what if we just had a podcast where we were talking about this? And I think it was around February where we started doing, like, we started getting into the flow of it. And there were these comments that people would leave us and were just like, I don't know. It felt like there were comments that we just didn't really deserve, but people were talking about how much, like, stories, specifically I think it was around the idea of passion. I think that was right around the first time we did a podcast around passion. People were talking about how passion was something in stories that they kind of looked at as like a double-edged sword. Like, it had a good side to it, but it was also a side that just kind of rubbed them the wrong way sometimes, because it was just like, you know, like meaningless energy, kind of like the thing that Tsukishima hates in Haikyuu. But approaching something with the right kind of energy, with the right kind of passion, allows them to see something in a story that they hadn't been able to see before.
Or just in life.
Or just in life. And that was something that I think that kind of rocked me, and it's still kind of just hitting me over and over again. So I love that when we come to this when we come to you guys with all of our passion, there's like this equal but greater passion. You guys come back to it with us, and it reinvigorates us.
Because the thing is passion can't last forever in a vacuum.
No, it can't.
Like, I mean, and a vacuum is kind of, in some ways, almost a best case scenario because of just how life is, right? Yeah. Entropy exists. It is a thing. You know, entire shows will be written about it that are amazing, and, you know, condensed 12 episodes, and you should watch it and check it out. They're really good. I'm not going to tell you what it is because that almost defeats the purpose of the show. But we need other people. You know, and like the two of us, right? We can talk about our passions with each other, and that's fantastic and great and stuff. And, you know, we were doing it long before the channel came around.
Yeah, exactly.
But having you guys is...
It's huge.
It's huge. You can't say how important it is.
It's something really cool that I don't think we really talk about enough, is that there are times when, you know, we, you know, either have a bad day or we have, like, you know, just like a whole bunch of stuff pile up that, you know, comes like out of left field, like real life, you know, kind of outside the channel stuff, and it just sidelines us or whatever. And, you know, we have to essentially don't lose our way. And there are people, I love that song so much. There are people that have throughout this year kind of helped us kind of be like, okay, just come back here. And I don't think they really know that they're doing it like most of the time.
Right. It's it's those no big deal things that matter the most, right?
Yeah.
Those little things that people might take for granted and think, oh yeah, that's nothing, but it's everything.
Yeah. So again, thank you guys.
It was the subs we made along the way.
Oh my god. Hold on, there was a big question up here. Yeah, someone was saying, "What's the name of your book?" From Mario Craner.
That's what was so cool, because it was then answered by other people in the
yes, Battle Lines. Yeah, Battle Lines.
And that's one of the things that's awesome, when it's like it's now this sort of self-sustaining thing where other people are out there that know about it, can talk about it. And by the way, if any of you fan fiction writers out there, I will absolutely be reading Battle Lines fan fiction.
Oh,
absolutely,
and promote it.
Absolutely.
Oh my god.
So
awesome.
Go live your dream.
Nice. Gabriel Braga says, I won't be able to follow this stream, but if there's one last thing to say in 2018 for you bros, is since you got Tokyo Ghoul manga in the latest unboxing, I'd highly recommend watching the first episode before going to the manga. Even though Tokyo Ghoul's anime is not the best out there, it's surely one of the best first episodes of all shows anime I've ever seen. And also people who dislike Tokyo Ghoul also agree it's a great introduction.
Okay, cool.
I've heard a lot about also the opening.
Oh yeah, the
opening. I've even like heard the song. I think.
Yeah, I don't know if I've heard the original song. I've definitely heard covers of it. Like,
right.
Yeah, because the main thing I've heard about Tokyo Ghoul is that the main reason why it had problems in the anime format was because they adapted it at some ridiculous pace, like 4 chapters per episode or something.
For sure.
So it ended up just like not like being able to linger on those heavier moments.
For sure. Wally asks, so did Monogatari series win the poll? Yes, it did.
Indeed. Yes.
And if so, have you guys decided which watch order you'll be watching in? And the movies, will you react to them or just a discussion?
I want to tell you here, but I'm not sure I understand the watch order enough to even be able to communicate it. But basically, we're going to be doing Bakemonogatari first.
Okay.
And then other stuff after that. It's the simplest watch order, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I'm just coming along. Jacob has a crew of people behind him helping him make sure that
okay, this is it. And I don't even like I feel like this is one of those like math problems where you don't actually understand like how to do the math. You basically just like, okay, this is what it says to do here. This is what it says to do here. This is what it says to do
nice. Here. Yeah. Oh yeah, the King Killer Chronicles. Speaking of books, have you read the King Killer Chronicles?
Yeah, that's good.
Good stuff.
Book 3 when ever. You know,
right?
Oh man, there was this terrible but amazing meme that I saw where it was like, okay, I would absolutely not wish anything at all against Patrick Rothfuss, but all I'm saying is Brandon Sanderson did a great job finishing the Wheel of Time. Like, oh shoot! Like
that's some like ooh that's wow. Oh my gosh. When does your book come out? Stay tuned.
So
for pre-order announcements.
Basically what's going to be happening is I'm going to be doing pre-orders through Kickstarter so that they handle all the complicated transaction stuff, because I was trying to figure it out on my own and do it on my own site and stuff, and that was just bleh.
It was a nightmare.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
But I'm running into some red tape there, so once that gets figured out, then pre-orders will become available, and then for when the book comes out, based on how things are going, it'll probably be sometime in April.
Right.
But yeah.
So around his birthday, which would be a pretty crazy thing.
Cool.
So
birthday present, yeah.
Well, birthday present stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to ask you guys about this year was, what are some of the things that happened this year that were kind of moments where you'd like us to either answer some questions about, like favorite moments of 2018, specifically with our channel and stuff, and or just kind of stuff in general around the past year that you just want to talk about. Like, I remember people were asking, like, so when are you going to like have a discussion around like the ending of the Chimera Ant arc, you know, like,
Right.
like a specific thing with that. And what we were basically thinking was like, well, when Hunter x Hunter's over on the reaction stuff, we just do a Hunter x Hunter podcast.
Right, exactly.
And like discuss the series as a whole and like how it ends and stuff like that. Yep. Yes, Eric, well, Jacob's birthday is April Fool's. Believe it or not, it is. I saw actually a little board, Jacob, and it was like the top luckiest birth dates. Yours was number 1.
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
I'm a lucky guy. What can I say?
Oh my gosh. The Promised Neverland premieres in 9 days. Can we expect a reaction video same day or day later?
Well, okay. Same day reaction, like the kind of stuff I did for Attack on Titan Season 3?
No, probably not.
Probably not. That was actually kind of insane.
But one of the things that we have kind of a more of a nose on this time is because we have so many people in the community. They'll tell us like well ahead of time when a big deal show is coming out, and we can kind of stay aware of when that is. So we were aware of things like what was the other big one? Goblin Slayer.
Sure.
Was about to come out. What was the other big one?
Slime.
Yeah.
Bunny Girl Senpai. That was more of the
surprise
hit. Same with Zombieland Saga, I think. But
Oh wait, we missed a question from Star. You guys missed my question, but I'll ask again. Is there a possibility you can react to very select One Piece anime episodes chosen by the community because there's stuff in the manga that doesn't communicate emotion as well as the anime, like 1 to 2 episodes per arc, and each arc's like 50 episodes. Of course, you'd be watching episodes after reading the manga counterpart first. I don't know.
Because the thing that's tough about that is that it's kind of like once you take the genie out of the bottle, even a little bit, does it all just explode, right?
Yeah.
So,
and also one of the things also that's really weird is that once you give people a taste of something like that, then they get really salty when you don't give them the full experience.
Right.
And that's something that I think we're not going to
we're probably not going to do. What we might do is like watch things like that in our own time, to see how the anime adapts it and stuff like that, and so that we can like better enjoy like AMVs and things like that. But
yeah, for sure,
probably not reacting.
Oh, Eric, well, one of my favorite reactions this year was your Place Further Than the Universe discussions.
Yes.
Oh my god, A Place Further Than the Universe we still think is probably going to be anime of the year. Like at least a nomination. Like it's now the end of the year essentially. Do they count? How does it work? Because I
don't know. Because it might.
Does it start winter of last year, and that's the beginning of the year, or is it winter of this year? That's the end of the.
It's tough because I think it would be winter. I think it's supposed to be when the shows end, not when they begin. Because you could have a show begin and then go for a really long time, and then you're talking about a show from way back. I don't know.
I don't think that is. I mean, how about you guys let us know in the comments what's going on with that?
I have it as a personal mission of mine to get my parents to watch Place Further Than the Universe because
we're going to do it.
I think that show is one of those ones that's so easy to get people into, even if they're not into anime. That people just need to see it. It's so good.
Jacob's reaction to Midoriya versus Todoroki almost died from hyperventilation is my top 10 moments.
Was that?
That was
That was this year.
This year. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was.
I mean, I don't know actually for a fact whether or not that was this year,
but it sounds about right.
It sounds about right, but the thing is, there were no full lengths for that.
Right.
So it would have had to been like around the actual like.
Yeah, it might have been like late 2017. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Erwin is my present with the 500 bits.
Wow.
Wow. Top moment for me was just Jacob's laughter. Like Jacob, like maniacally laughing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There were and thank you by the way for the support around that because there was some point. What was it? What was the? Oh yeah, no, it was Attack on Titan, and I was editing Attack on Titan, and I was going back, and I was like, wow, I really laughed like crazy, like a crazy person at the ending of Attack on Titan. Yeah. Wow. Okay, I didn't quite realize that's how it sounded like. So the fact that you guys enjoyed it so much, even if it was in the sort of like, wow, that's crazy. That helps.
Yeah. Well, Finn, that was probably one of the moments that we look back on. We're like, oh, well.
Well, see, here's the thing. The thing. You can only really get bothered by something if you love it, right? And the reason why I was frustrated in the moment was because I was like, I knew that there was this thing that was so good, and I'm like, we're almost there. We're almost there. Stop torturing me. Just get to it. But yeah,
right, yeah,
it was all in love.
Yeah, the various amounts of crying meme faces.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, what was the biggest best cry this year? It was something crazy.
I don't know.
Centipede Senpai, why are you trying to give spoilers? I see a deleted message here.
The best.
The heck?
Okay, well here's the thing. Made in Abyss finished this year, so technically, Mate.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was the best cry, but the thing is, that was the fastest one where I went from like holding it together to just instantly Waterworks could not stop it. Just
oh my god, I really hope we do get a season 2 this coming year.
Oh man,
with Made in Abyss, that would be amazing. Because of much, there is Hunter x Hunter. Feels like the Chimera Antarch should have had a podcast by itself. Gotcha. Or else we'd be talking about the series only in a very very broad way. Very broad way.
Well, the thing is, like, okay, if you're talking about Hunter x Hunter as a whole, well, then a very large chunk of that is going to be about the Chimera Antarch.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, proportionally, it's a very big piece of Hunter x Hunter.
It's like 40% of Hunter x Hunter.
Right, exactly.
Like, how many episodes are in the Chimera Antarch? Like 70?
It's something like
it's
that.
It's less than that, but I think it's pretty close.
But it's pretty close, and that's about
almost
half.
Yeah.
Like almost half, not far off.
Right.
And the thing is, like, if we were to, because here's the thing, if we did a just Chimera Antarch video, then we would have to have a Hunter x Hunter video, but we would still just want to talk about the Chimera Antarch for a bunch of that in the Hunter x Hunter video. So,
right. And generally when we talk about shows, we don't actually talk about it in terms of arcs. We talk about it in terms of characters. And one of the best things about Hunter x Hunter is that the characters themselves go on different journeys based on whatever arc they're on. And different arcs will like warrant different discussions.
Because a lot of the things in the Chimera Antarch, you know, like the Chimera Antarch, really good, right?
Yeah.
So much of it was build up, though, that you don't really need to talk about like details of all the pieces. You can sort of talk about like, okay, this is the part where the queen was like, you know, developing the Chimera ants and all that stuff, and then they were just starting to like evolve into being more like humans and being able to talk and things like that.
Yeah, and then the whole hunt essentially from Kite, Killua, and Gon.
Because there's like arcs within the arc.
Yeah, that's another thing. You can actually separate the Chimera Antarch into 2 arcs, like before Meruem and after Meruem. Like basically, like the era when Meruem enters the scene, it's a whole different story. Like it becomes an entirely different.
Jacob, I really hope you're going to be watching Kizumonogatari after Bakemonogatari. If not, you're going to be doing that. There's a lot of context if you guys are making a mistake. I'm not exactly sure what Kizumonogatari is. I don't remember what the list, like what the things listed in the list were.
But don't worry,
I think that might be what's after. I'm not sure.
We just have really good like
a lot of syllables.
Monogatari people like helping us with this, and they're from like different like angles on things, and they've all come to an agreement on how we should watch it. So yeah, we're gonna trust them. Thank you. Would clips be better instead of the episodes? Maybe. Wait, what do you mean? We're talking about the One Piece thing?
One Piece? Well,
possibly,
but the thing is that then at that point it wouldn't really be worth reacting to. It would be more worth, like, say, talking about if we, like, say, get to a point in, like, the manga or something, and then we, like, watch the anime equivalent episode, and then we're, like, talking about it in, say, the manga reactions, compare and contrast kind of a thing. But even then, yeah.
Oh, that's a very good question. Discussion idea for your Hunter x Hunter podcast. How do the Chimera Ant and York new arcs fit into your fast-paced, high-impact moment framework? You discussed a couple podcasts ago. In my opinion, Chimera Ant arc is slower paced and suffers from lower average quality, but has higher high impact moments.
Yep, I wholeheartedly agree. And that's one of the things that I think is really cool about the fact that the Chimera Ant arc and the York New arc exist in the same show.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're both very different. Like
very different.
Because with the York New arc, the prep was done building up to the arc, and then the arc is almost all execution, right?
Right.
Whereas the Chimera Ant arc is this huge chunk that's just more or less kind of separate from everything else, and it has its own build up through, like, just in the arc itself to the high impact moments.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for the clarification, Eric Walt. Winter 2018 was the first season of anime 2018. So this fall season of 2018 is the last season.
Okay, cool.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, then definitely. Because I was thinking, like, wait, what if we get, like, Mob Psycho season 2, and that just
if it was
runs
like
away with everything?
Well, and if it was like a 2-core show that, like, started in this season, it wouldn't be a show of 2018, it'd be a show of 2019 because it ends in 2019.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really funny because there were a lot of sequels this year that I feel like I feel like they stumbled in very small ways, like the big ones were like Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia, and there were a couple others out there as well, but I don't know if we watched those.
Well, yeah, we haven't seen Steins Gate Zero yet. You know,
yeah, exactly. Like but those shows had like little weird pacing problems and little things that kind of went into it there, and then also Attack on Titan didn't end with its season and stuff.
I totally see why, but at the same time,
yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they were bad. I'm saying it's kind of something where the original show it makes perfect sense why we would like give it like all the just a Madhouse original anime,
for a place for the universe. Yep. Well, and
But guys, it was recognized in the New York Times.
Yeah, like think about that
as one of the greatest shows, just like TV shows of 2018.
Right, because there was basically international shows category of 2018, not international animated shows, or anything. Or
they didn't even have an animated show.
Yeah, exactly. But just the international animated shows, and Place for the Universe was on
just
there.
International shows.
Just international shows, and Place for the Universe was on there in the top 10 list, and that is so awesome. That is amazing.
Oh my god, it was really good. My favorite moment of 2018 was watching Caleb dying of drowning in his tears during that Hunter x Hunter episode.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure which Hunter x Hunter episode you mean. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not entirely sure.
Right, there were a lot of crying episodes. They're talking about 130, 135. I think.
Okay, right. That's what I think too. But it could theoretically be 131.
Yeah.
That one was rough too.
Oh, Dr. Woman Respector with the 1,000 bits. What the heck?
Holy
Best moment of
crap.
2018. The Kill la Kill bath scene. Try hard. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
I hate that I love Ragyo's theme song so much. Like it's so good, but I hate her.
Blumenkranz?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wait, did we get the message? Oh my god, is that...
I think that's
my favorite moment was the message. Yes, we got it. That's
Evergarden episode 10. Oh yeah, that was.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
Hey guys, small off topic. Have you heard of Girls Last Tour? Absolutely. We know about it. Yep.
It's the one with the dab in the opening, right?
Happy New Year. Thanks, Noel. Let's see. Best thing this year for me was the end of Made in Abyss. I laughed like a maniac. I'm kind of a jerk when I watch other people watch emotional scenes I've already seen. Yeah.
Oh man. And again, shout out to Caleb. I think you guys have heard this before, but Caleb had to edit Made in Abyss finale.
Yep.
And that was a double length episode.
Oh,
and he had to edit it down to
Caleb
10
watched
minutes.
the eclipse for the first time this year.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
One of my favorite parts of JoJo's is how it can reinvent itself over time and just become a completely different show over time while still keeping its soul. Have you guys had the same thoughts? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean,
it's how we can actually enjoy part 3, even though part 2 in many ways is like so far has been like superior.
Right.
And
exactly. I feel JoJo's is like Doctor Who. Like, and I don't know all that much about
and that's
Doctor
a weird
Who,
comparison because
they're totally different
styles,
but because they have the sort of reincarnated main character over the course of the story, you can have each part of the series be almost like a completely new series while still playing on all the nostalgia from previous series.
Oh, 60 episodes around for the Chimera Ant arc. Gotcha.
Yeah.
How long do you predict the final episode discussion would be for Hunter x Hunter? Wait, are you asking everyone else there? Because we know the answer.
Right.
We've recorded that.
Kizumonogatari is the movies. Okay, yeah. So it is. I'm not sure if it's the very next thing after Bakemonogatari, but it is very early on. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Chimera Ant arc is perfect. Yeah. I'm confident they'll adore Assassination Classroom as the modernized great teacher Onizuka. Oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it.
All
right. The Requiem for Uvo is my favorite scene in Hunter x Hunter. That's really good.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh my god. Oh yeah. How are you guys feeling about the eclipse read through tomorrow? It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna
suck.
It's gonna suck.
At least here's my one bit of solace in all this. Is that Caleb also know it's coming too.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the Hunter x Hunter Palace Invasion in real-time video that people keep spamming memeing? Yes. Yes, we ended up seeing that. It was really cool, actually. Since you both are Ruby and Gurren Lagann mech fans, will you guys be watching Genlock on your own time when it comes out next month? I assume reactions for it aren't high on your guys' list right now since the show isn't really established yet, but that's understandable.
Yeah, that's a tough one because
it's a tough one. Yeah,
like I am very interested in the show. Like it's Rooster Teeth, and the cast they have for it is amazing, and like I'm very curious to see what they do with it. But
yeah, because if they do it this is actually something that I'm going to go out on a limb and predict here.
Oh, yeah?
If this show has any modicum of success, they will continue it.
Sure.
But here's the thing. If they continue it and they improve on the continuation, it could, I think, revitalize the mecha genre. Now, here's the thing. The mecha genre is dead. Like let's be real.
Like there's the hardcore fans, of course, but it's not mainstream anymore.
It's almost like completely dead compared to where it used to be.
Like when people think of anime now, they don't think of giant robots necessarily.
No.
Like that's a part of it,
Yeah.
but that's not like the first thing they'll go to. At least from what I've seen. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have already finished Hunter x Hunter, but so far it does not exist until this coming Thursday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Shinsekai Yori is on our radar. Yes, we have heard of it. But yeah.
January is going to be a real good month. Yes, January is going to be amazing. We have Mob Psycho Season 2 coming as well. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are you guys still doing Doki Doki Literature Club? Should we talk about that now?
Sure, yeah.
Sure, might as well.
Speaking of Thursday.
Yeah.
So what would make Thursday better than just getting the finale of Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah.
Early access.
What I think would make it just about perfect is if we streamed Doki Doki Literature Club on Thursday night.
Yeah, I think that could make it even better.
I think that could be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think so.
And then just Thursday nights in perpetuity, we'll just do Let's Plays of games that we've always wanted to do.
We could fit in the Divinity Original Sin 2 stream once Doki Doki's done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
Yeah. Hey, now we can start quoting Matt Mercer and be like, is it Thursday yet?
Yep. So yeah, guys, you heard that. You heard that here for the first time. Doki Doki Literature Club. Thursday streams this Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep.
We'll be doing that, and I'm going to be moving my Friday night stream a little bit earlier as well to be coinciding so that all nighttime streams will be at 5, and then afternoon ones for the podcast and manga reactions will be on 3 p.m.
Cool.
And and also, I just wanted to say with that, this month, you guys will start seeing emotes and sub goal rewards and stuff like that added to the Twitch. I'll be making sure that those are being put in over the course of this month. And so, yeah, looking forward to showing you guys those. Those will be pretty cool.
Jacob can't play games yet.
Masquerade Divinity streams? Hell yeah. Exactly. Oh, man. Yes. You recommend Rising of the Shield Hero. I have heard about that.
Okay.
Yes, one of our Discord people, Lunar, is very much into it. Dr. Win Respector with the 500 bits!
Again, thank
Cheer
you.
for Doki Doki! Hyped! Awesome. I expect you boys to thoroughly debate who best girl is on Thursday. This is important. Absolutely.
We won't necessarily be finishing Doki Doki all in the one night.
Yeah,
but yeah,
not.
we will probably most definitely be debating best girl.
Yeah, for sure.
By that time, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then we'll definitely make sure we have plenty of mods to make sure we aren't getting spoiled.
Exactly.
When we do that, because I know this game has been out for a while, but yeah, we won't have to worry about getting annoying people in chat. Essentially.
Now there was a question up here. What was it? Question. Oh, will we ever get a harem slot for reactions?
DXLC, not really. No, I'm good. I don't need to watch. What was that? School Days. Piece of crap.
And well, the funny thing is that School Days is probably the truest harem out there from the standpoint of like the word. I mean, I don't know.
Hey
that much,
guys, like I mean, Steins Gate is a harem, right? Konosuba is a harem. Like,
it's true. There are plenty, but the thing is,
One Punch Man season 2 is not made by Madhouse and like season 1. Bible Thumb.
Sad day.
It's okay. I'm sure it's still going to be pretty good. Like Madhouse is the king. Like Madhouse is just that good.
They haven't died yet.
Yes.
Really recommend Kimi no ni Todoroki for a shoujo fluffy anime if there's ever a slot for a reaction. I have heard about that one. I've heard some good things about it. Put it on the radar.
You guys are going to give individual voice to each character, right? Only 4 girls in the protag. Oh, wait, that's a fun idea.
We're not, because it's not voice acted.
It's not voice acted, right? Because it's a free game. They probably couldn't afford.
Oh, God. It would be horrible, but like...
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. In general, with these types of things, there's not going to be many characters even involved in the conversation, so like each of us could just take,
that's true,
whoever is conversing.
Okay, so okay, here's how I think we should do it. We should have there are 4 girls, so we should each take 2
girls,
and then whichever one is talking, the other person voices the protagonist.
Okay.
And they have their own voice for the protagonist. Now, hopefully it doesn't get weird at points.
I'm sure that the protagonist isn't going to say much, though. It's probably one of those things where the girls
no, you still have to, like, choose the dialogue options, probably.
Sure.
So.
But, I mean, we'll also be debating as to, like, which, choice we'll make and stuff like that. Yes. Yeah. This is going to be fun, because we've never played visual novels before.
We haven't.
Like, we're kind of going based on, like, reputation and just, like, oh, yeah, people are highly recommending this one. It's like, all right,
BioWare is basically the closest we've ever gotten.
That's true.
Novels.
Yeah. And BioWare is very much like your choices they kind of matter with your companions,
but like not really, because they still have the overall story that they're telling and stuff like that.
We're big fans of things like old school BioWare, like KOTOR, and even like Obsidian's KOTOR 2 when it got remastered.
The
and
Telos Restoration Project.
Oh, that was good.
I highly recommend that if you haven't played it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it possible to keep up with the results of your polls without participating in them, speaking as a non-patron? Yeah, you just get a little bit of you're like a week behind on things usually. So the general thing is that like we won't be posting things like results or like anything like that with any consistency. But what we could do maybe for 2019 is basically say we have the YouTube community tab or something like that.
Sure, and then just post out a thing saying like, hey, this one won the poll, or something.
Right,
like that.
We could do like a screenshot of the results maybe or something. Right. It would just be figuring out, do we have a schedule as to when that post would be made for the public to see, and would it be really relevant depending on at what point the poll ends and the new show begins when being published in the Patreon. Right. I think at the very least it would be letting you guys know if you want to join like early access, for instance. You would know, Monogatari starts this,
and we put that in the
Tuesday, which is Monogatari.
Monogatari is Thursday, and then After the Rain's Tuesday. But we put that stuff in the end of the previous episode's discussion, so that way, like when the point where the episode is available, so that you can get on early access if you want to.
Yeah. I guess my wish for them to do 2 manga reactions a week will never come true. That's not necessarily
true, but we don't necessarily want to make a habit of it, because we want to make sure like the workload is kept balanced. Like, for instance, I very much want to convince Caleb and figure out a way that we can do a silent voice half-blind manga reading, right?
Yeah.
Because it's only 7 volumes, so that might be something that we could fit in somewhere, but it wouldn't necessarily mean like 2 manga reactions a week in perpetuity.
Right, because then you could have like a season of time where we would have 2 manga reactions going, but you have one be long and one be like a smaller one.
It's something like the equivalent of like when we do seasonal anime, like My Hero Academia, we fit that in there, or Attack on Titan. That way we can balance just our time.
Oh, Rise of the Shield Hero is made by the same studio that animated Made in Abyss. Cool. Kevin Penkin, the guy who made the OST for Made in Abyss, is creating for Shield Hero as well. So expect some eargasms. Awesome.
Nice.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. XP Ethan with the 500 bits. Gotta head out. Wow. I'll be spending my New Year's Eve evening finishing Haikyuu Season 1. Awesome. Thanks a lot for the awesome year. Being able to support you guys, even as something as small as a moderator, has been surreal. Hope 2019 is even better for y'all, and I'll definitely still be here along for the ride. Peace out, and Happy New Year, y'all. Thanks, Ethan.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate you so much. Yeah.
Enjoy your New Year's.
Yeah, have a good one, man. If you guys are getting into visual novels for streams, I've got some recommendations.
I can imagine there are a lot.
I am sure there are definitely a lot out there, for sure. 10 minutes to New Year for those that are not minus 800, I guess, because we're minus 8 hours,
right,
off of GMT, I think.
So like global standard.
Yeah, whatever global standard time is. Yep, it would be for New Year. My favorite moments is every time Jacob got interrupted when he was in the middle of his predictions by Caleb, even though he was actually right. Pepe hands. Yeah, it's something that, you know, you realize when you're on like the internet and everything is getting broadcast and stuff, you see patterns that you have, and it's like,
right,
I'm not doing this consciously.
Right, because like, okay, whenever you're having a conversation with someone, say, right, and you don't remember like the exact words that someone used, and you're like, oh man, I wish I could have recorded that, right?
Right.
Well, now that we're doing this, it's constantly getting recorded. So there will be all these things that we'll notice and we'll be like, oh wow, we really do that? Yeah. Oh dang, okay, well, maybe we should work on that. But yeah.
So yeah, I have to work on that one for sure. Yeah. Charlie168, thank you so much for the follow. Glad to have you here.
Welcome to the SOS.
What about an ecchi tier for Patreon where you react to really boring stuff topless for them ladies? Oh my god,
for the ecchi.
For real.
Yeah.
So it's not that we would actually react to ecchi, it's that we would be the ecchi reacting to no.
Or maybe it would be an ecchi reaction.
What if we found a way to green screen clothes on us for every regular reaction, and then there would be a filter version where we basically would just
don't
turn off the green screen. No, that would be selling out, and we're above that. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Young Justice, did you watch it? And will you? Maybe. I have watched a lot of Young Justice. He has not.
Right. Yeah. People are hyping up Doki Doki, but don't go in with overly high expectations. It's still a free game. Oh yeah,
absolutely,
totally. Yeah. That's one of the worst things that I feel like can happen to a story is that it gets not necessarily overhyped, because that's one way it can happen, but just any time where expectations are set differently going into it because of how people have talked about it, and then you aren't able to properly experience it in the sort of like the, I don't know, just the original blank slate format.
Oh yeah, looking forward to the next unboxing. I sent something cool. Oh, thanks Eric Walt, so much, appreciate it. Self-improvement through people judging your conversations, PogChamp. Basically. Hi guys, all good and a happy 2019. Und treffen community all over to planet. What time is it?
Right now it is 3:55 our time.
3:55 our time. We're in Pacific time. Yep.
$50 ecchi version.
No,
this the bitch is already good enough.
The funny thing is that at some point I actually was talking with some people about potentially doing a Patreon tier that would be specifically around like talking with people, like more specifically around creating stories and stuff, and it'd be something for like specifically collaborating with that, and then, you know, getting more one-on-one conversations with helping people to launch their stories and stuff. But it never really came through because we didn't have the time for that. Or what is my president? What is with all the bits today, dude? Take my money.
Thank you so much.
With the pride flags, awesome, dude. Absolutely. Thank you so much. We will absolutely take your money.
There was something else up there. Something about someone saying favorite thing of the. Oh, there it is. Yeah, just joined, or from Fazdadon. Just joined talking favorite moments from your channel. Then I'd say Jacob's crazy laughing during a certain reaction to an end credit scene. Yeah.
The funny thing is that, guys, like, you know, when you have that show that you really like you really like, disproportionately to the actual quality of the show. It's a thing where, like, because he gets like buzzed when he like he's just like finished a manga like reading or something, like he's like, Jacob, he's like, Caleb, don't come in here. I'm like, okay, what's going on? And he's like nothing, and I'm like, oh, it's Attack on Titan, isn't it? He's like, maybe. And then he like ends the thing and he's like coming out, he's like pacing the floor, like
because I'll have all this nervous energy because I can't actually talk to anyone really about it, and I'll just grab my phone and start furiously typing in the Attack on Titan manga spoilers, and I'll just like, you know, because like Attack on Titan, that was like, you guys may forget this, but that was the anime that largely got me into anime. Yep. Because I'd seen anime before, but that was the one that made me actually seek out anime as a medium and say, I need to watch more anime, not just there's a specific anime that I've heard of and I might want to try it out.
Right.
So it's yeah. Oh.
Have you guys listened to any of the Berserk OST from the movies and 2016 series? I think
a couple.
I think I have. I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, there was. Is there one that's like My Brother or something like that?
Yeah.
And I think it's supposed to be like a Guts and Griffith sort of like song. You know,
all I remember is it's like na na na. na na na. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
There was one like that, and it like, oh, it hit me. But the thing was, I don't remember like where I actually heard it, and
There's
I don't
probably like 12 different Berserk songs.
Yeah, this probably is. But the thing is like I don't want to go like searching for anything Berserk on the internet,
Right? Because that's
dangerous.
Yeah.
The internet is dark and full of spoilers.
Yep.
Oh, when will you guys change the setup or maybe the background? Because I believe that was one of your guys' goals. So the studio goal was something that we couldn't hit. One of the things that is really tricky is that we looked at the potentials for getting a place specifically for recording. And the problem with that is,
well, for one, we live in a very expensive area, but two,
we would essentially, I'll boil it down. Essentially, we would end up renting a place that we wouldn't actually have full control over.
Right.
And
we need a house, basically.
We need a place where we can essentially dedicate a room to it. And right now, we've got a bed right over here and another bed over here. Jacob and I are, rooming together and stuff and trying to figure this out. But thankfully, we're in a pretty big setup, so we can just kind of have the computer and stuff in the corner. And we're really kind of self-conscious about our setup here, so we don't really want to show it to anyone.
On the other side of this backdrop, but the thing is, because like we tend to get kind of loud. And
apartments are just out of the question with that regard.
It just like it wouldn't work.
So so it's something that we will definitely like make steps or to having that happen. And if anything, we'll just upgrade the general stuff here in like the coming months or something like that, like lighting and things.
Basically, long story short, when we first made the Patreon and we set those goals, we didn't actually know what we were doing.
No,
and we were like, well, there's no way we'll actually get to this point, right? And we're like, yeah, it'll be easy to do that once we get to that point. And then we're like, wait a minute. No, that'll actually be pretty hard. But yeah, so we've been looking into it and stuff because the Patreon has been so amazingly successful and you guys have been so generous. But there's a lot more, there's a lot of complicated things that just need to be put in line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys if it's a have we seen a show thing, we're probably going to be skipping it for now because we're going to be talking about 2019 in a second here. Random question, but which of you thought of making a YouTube channel first?
Well, Caleb had an idea for a channel a long time ago that was just general talking about stuff.
So I've always wanted to do a channel about talking, but the thing is that they didn't really work out.
But he was the one that brought forward the suggestion of, hey Jacob, what if we reacted to Volume 4 of Ruby?
Yeah,
it was like,
just to see if what would happen and stuff. But it was something that we didn't know what it would be. It was just like a thing that we could try. Yeah. Your recurrent background is fine. It would feel weird to be different. Well, I think we could still it's more like to make it look a little bit nicer,
or at least have a hey, this is the place kind of a thing. Show what's behind the background,
or get a green screen or something.
Right? Yeah. You need a place further than the universe.
We don't need to go that far. No. For sure. Oh, Wally, I can't believe we missed your follow. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, dude.
Yes.
Welcome to the SOS Brigade. Yeah. Oh, those goals on Patreon. What did I get? Hits every single goal on Patreon. If anything, that's probably one of the things that we'll do is we'll look at the goals. Let's just talk about 2019 now. So, guys, here's one of the things that I would love to hear from you guys. And let's scale it back from the recommending shows. What are some things you would like to see in 2019? And then we're going to talk about some of the things that we'll be doing in 2019.
Not including certain shows you want us to watch.
Exactly. Yeah. So one of the things that specifically with the Patreon goals was something I always wanted to do is I'm going to kind of go a little bit in depth about this. So there's a goal that we put on there was specifically towards it was like a unique storytelling, choose your own adventure kind of format thing. I think it was the 10K goal. And I put it up there. And the thing was I wanted to do it with Jacob, but I kind of wanted to champion it. And what ended up happening was that we just blew right past it. And I realized that the actual format for presenting this this storytelling format didn't necessarily have to be just video. there were a lot of fun things that you could add to it to make it be more professional. And one of our just kind of general policies is just go for it and figure it out as you go along. If we have like a production quality, like, you know, it's a lower production quality thing, it's okay. We'll upgrade that over time, right?
Right.
But with this is something that I want to have a storytelling, interactive experience thing that will be both video, audio, and then your guys' own choices. So an example of this would be, like, I'm terrified of actually writing a linear story book novel thing like you have here. It's actually just terrifying to me. But creating a world, that seems a little bit more bit more plausible, because then not all of it has to cohesively make sense.
Right, it doesn't have to all flow from one thing to the other and stuff. You can just come up with a lot of cool things. Yeah. So
what I kind of want to do here is, I've looked and researched this a bunch, and what people have done with YouTube is create little pathways, essentially, of unlisted videos and then public videos and stuff that lead to specific experiences. But I don't want this to be just a static thing that you just put it out and it's done. I want it to be ongoing, something that people could tune into and then have to kind of like catch up. So here be an example. Let's say we have 1,000 people watching it, right? That would be wonderful. What would happen is you'd be presented with some characters that we would like actually voice act, and we would bring like other people in to like act out these characters and stuff. And there would be a written segment of story, and along the way within the story we would find some technological presentation format to get people to submit community generated kind of response of where they think a certain character should go in a certain direction, or
almost like a community done visual novel.
Yes, exactly.
In that sense, like where you have you have things that you do and stuff and all that and everything, and then there comes to be some choice that needs to be made, and then you guys basically all come together and make the choice, and then we basically just make sure that there's no like troll choices that will just steal all.
And the main thing is we would present you with the choices a la visual novel, and we wouldn't make it deviate too far out. But the idea is that on, say, in between the release schedule, we would have a specific amount of time where us and a couple other people would create the actual story that came about based on the decision. So we would present the decisions, but we wouldn't know what we were writing specifically for each decision before the decision was made. So it gives us enough of a buffer time to then make, you know, that story and focus around it. And then we would also bring in a specific group of writers that would help us actually make the storyline parts there for specific characters, or for writing how it interacts with the world.
Very serialized and kind of improvised, where it's like, okay, let's see, like, all right, this is what the feedback from the audience is. Let's see how we can work this in and make a story that, you know, has some semblance of sanity over the long haul.
But the end result is we would have a very long, crazy, chaotic, kind of just goofy drama, essentially, that we follow X number of characters that get introduced over time
and whatnot.
And then eventually we would bring in artists, potentially animators, hopefully voice acting guest stars or something like that. And if it became a big enough thing, we could devote like an entire section of like the channel specifically to that. And that would be our way of playing with creating stories on a smaller scale.
Because for something like, say, writing a book, it's like, cool, every 3 years, or, you know, or however you do it, right? 3 years for this one, hopefully I can do it in a shorter amount of time for the next one. But that's a long time in between, right? You know, but to have something that's more of like a drip feed, you know, something like that.
And we'd want to start that as soon as possible so that we could get essentially a backlog library of this stuff going, so that we would be creating the stuff ahead of the actual presentation time to give us a little bit of an edge there. But that's my crazy ambitious idea that I don't think anyone on the internet is actually doing, because it's not essentially a high return investment. You look at what people would get from that, and it might just boil down to an audiobook. Like that might be essentially what it would be. A live, not a live, but like a pre-recorded audio TV show.
And then we just have maybe all we would be able to manage
is art.
Is like art for characters, and, you know, maybe some backgrounds or things like that. But not actual like animation.
But the idea is that there would be this beautiful community element weaved throughout it, because a lot of the stuff in the background would be made by the community, and then the choices of the stories, like big climactic moments, would be done by the thing. That no, this would be for the whole channel. This wouldn't be just for the Discord members.
How about Caleb teaching about history while sitting in front of a fireplace with a robe and with a pipe? Let me tell you a story.
Hey, you know what? That's one of the things we've actually discussed, is we don't have to have this be a thing where you just hear our voices and you don't see us. We could actually weave the story in some kind of cleverly, like, this is an old story. And maybe we would cut to the guy at the fireplace who's like, what will your choice be? Will you take the path to the mountains?
Take your chance, roll the dice.
Roll, And the thing is, I think this is also where it's born out of, is that Jacob would love to at some point do some kind of a, tabletop RPG thing with just the community, not necessarily like a video thing or whatever.
I am a huge fan of Critical Role, and this is kind of like the closest thing we can kind of get to
doing that.
Like, it's sort of like going in that direction without doing a full-on campaign. Yeah. There were some things above. That
hold on. Let me catch up with chat. I've missed a whole
suggestions and whatnot.
Okay. What people would like to see for 2019? You can get a better camera. Yes, sorry. That's one of the things that we definitely are behind on. We will definitely fix the the camera and make that a little better for
Green screen background.
Man, I'll be spooked if any video ever starts with you guys taking down the background.
It's all you know now.
Oh, the game show development. So yeah, the game is the part of the development that was actually happening, and the tricky part with it is that it's in a little bit of a gridlock right now, where we have a card game that is actually still happening, but the actual presentation of it as a game would be a little bit tricky if we just did the card game. So what we're actually going to do, and this is something that we said we would actually have as more of a November goal, but we didn't hit it, was we have, in development, it'll probably take a while, but we have a card-based game that will probably be on PC first, initially.
Yeah, but that was the plan anyway. But
we'll see if that
is complicated.
We'll see if that ends up happening.
Doing that. So
so that'll be something we'll talk about over the course of the year. Ultimate Frisbee workout routine video. I don't work out for Ultimate Frisbee. I'm not that serious.
You guys GMing if you can. Ooh.
Oh wait, if we had a dual GM thing, that would be a little bit tricky.
That would be tricky, but okay. Well, or just if one of us GM.
I really like to DM GM. Like
those things take a lot of time, though. That's the main thing. That's not something it would be something that would be absolutely amazing to do, but it is not something that could be done lightly.
Yeah, and part of the other thing about this is that we are still doing anime reactions. A part of this is that if we start doing too many different things, there'll be that dissonance of wait, why are people coming to the channel and stuff? So we want to handle that lightly. And if anything, we both could just use to stretch our abilities within tabletop gaming before we would end up doing something for ourselves and stuff like that.
Ooh, anime vlogs, meetup with Gig, Arcada, and everyone else on YouTube. Big meetup. That would be pretty crazy and awesome. And
I've actually been talking with people in the Discord about setting up meetups eventually. So that's something that will probably not be big right off the gate, but maybe something small for people on the West Coast, because we have been relatively clear with people that we're in the Pacific Northwest and stuff like that, but maybe something small for those that are in the area. That could be kind of fun. Just let me choose what you do in Slay the Spire, Caleb. Peps, that's amazing. Yeah, I know I'm not that good. Talking with us IRL, Azalea, that would be awesome.
Live action skits. That would be awesome.
Live action skits is something that I don't think we have in our repertoire yet. No. We'll probably end up making like meme dumb videos and stuff with editing stuff rather than actually going to live action.
Here's the thing though. If ProZD can do it, anybody can do it.
I mean,
he is very, very talented and he knows what he's doing, right? But as far as production value, totally.
How about trying to apply styles techniques from anime you like to write as casual fiction, as a workshop or community thing?
That was one of the ideas behind the create your own story kind of thing. And now it's sort of morphed into more of like a show thing, because we were at the beginning, we weren't sure whether it would be something that would just be like text-based, like, you know, online, and everyone sort of contributes and makes this awesome fan fiction-y sort of original just fiction, right? But collaborating on it together.
But one of the things that you can still do with that is have a section of the community dedicated to kind of writing tools and stuff like that, and discussing kind of techniques about that. And that's something I think that already happens within the podcast as a whole, but if we got more technical with it, that could be a really big thing.
One of the ideas that we had is we were like, what if we did that whole create your own story thing, but then we like got a bunch of other people in the community to write little snippets in like the world and things like that, and then we basically like verified them and stuff to you know, keep some level of quality control on it and stuff, but then let it just become this big expansive world with all this, like, this Marvel Cinematic Universe almost thing. But yeah.
Oh, about that. CAD Comics often does a periodic comic like that, where every few pages there's a choice and the author lets the readers vote and then draws that. Scalagrim also did a few of such RP videos on YouTube, similar to the Go to This Page line of books. Right. So the thing with those is that those are generally read.
Right,
and they're not necessarily dramatized within the people themselves.
And the idea that there's no like official way, but what you're talking about with the CAD comics and the Scalagrim, that's really cool. I had no idea that existed.
Yeah,
it totally makes sense, because like someone would have had this idea beforehand, right? But yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, when will the next faction event thingy come to an end and the poll for the show the winning faction votes on be announced? The faction stuff ends in the beginning of February. And then after that, we'll have a poll, and I'm almost certain I know, based on which faction is winning. Meat is God right now. They could still be beaten. The Hunter Association and the Stardust Crusaders are like hot on their tail. So it'd be just a question of, depending on which one wins, could be some pretty interesting shows that get put onto that poll. One of the 40K channels I follow did something similar, like a weekly choose your own adventure. Chief Dan George, please DM me. I need all the, if any of you have, you know, Twitter or you're on the Discord with me, DM me info or just tag me or whatever, just info about people that do this kind of thing that I'm talking about.
That way we can see.
Because I consume that information, and I'd say one of my weird skills is I can grab things from other places and incorporate them and see how they would work in our, you know.
Are you saying you're very good at copy, not steal?
Yes, exactly. Yes. I would like to see a house tour, maybe, and more manga readings, reaction, or review discussion. Okay. All right. Kill teacher. Oh yeah, we're back.
Jacob, have you seen any of the fan colorings of the new chapters of Attack on Titan? I have. Wow.
Jacob will remember that choice. Telltale style. Your choice matters.
Yes, exactly.
What about a new tier playing tabletop? We're not sure about any kind of things with regards to tabletop gaming actually within the channel, but well,
the main reason we haven't done that yet is because like in order to do something like that properly, you need to have a very specific kind of setup.
Yeah, and our setup is still really minimal.
Yes,
so we need to upgrade the setup.
Do that whole camera thing that
exactly
talking about.
Maybe consider putting more manga streams instead of a show reaction on a Patreon poll. I'm sure it takes less effort to stream reading than recording and editing. Well, the thing is that it totally is.
It does take more time.
Well, but yes, it takes more time. But the thing is that with our channel and stuff, we have YouTube still as the primary focus.
Yes, right.
So that we just want to make sure that that's kind of important here. No, we are never doing more than one episode of a show again a week ever. Yep. That was something that we kind of felt a little peer pressured into, and
it helped with Hunter x Hunter.
It helped a little bit, but we still would have preferred to do it one a week, because there's
it changes the experience.
It changes the experience, and it also changes, I would say it changes, like, you know how we were missing things in Hunter x Hunter, like we were just forgetting things and stuff. That happens less in shows that we have one a week.
Right, and like, we don't know for sure whether it's just Hunter x Hunter as a show or the fact that, you know, we were doing 2 a week, but...
Oh, Star Platinum says, have you guys heard of the Emerald City Comic Con? It's in Seattle during March, and it's a pretty big convention. Maybe consider having a meetup there?
So, I'm going to be going to... I believe that I got a Sunday ticket. I waited, like 2 or 3 weeks after the tickets went available, and then all the whole weekend
ones are gone.
Passes were gone.
Yep.
But I have a Sunday ticket to go see the Critical Role panel.
Yeah.
Because I love Critical Role. So
go hang out with Jacob there.
Yeah. So if people are there at Emerald City Comic Con on the Sunday thing, I will absolutely meet up with you guys.
Yeah. Maybe put out a tweet or something like
exactly
the day before or something.
I mean, that's a ways off, but yeah, we could go see the Critical Role panel together.
That would be cool.
You know?
Anime meme review. Oh my gosh. Pewds, man. I would love to see a special movie night or OVA night. It'll be fun to have that for YouTube. Huh. Maybe. Prosody manages to pull off skits with nothing but perfect comedic timing and the power of big mood. Yes.
Basically.
His voice is also lit. Yes,
his voice is absolutely amazing.
His voice is so smooth.
Everything that he does as far as execution goes is top notch, right? But the actual, like, the things that he needs to do in order to make things happen, like, it's almost a joke how he'll have those, like, paper masks and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh my gosh. Caleb's skill is to devour information. Yes. Oh, we're gonna crush those meat lovers. Hashtag Stardust Crusaders. Yep. There you go then. If meat is God win, they're gonna ask for a poll comprised of multiple Haikyuu Season 4 choices. I won't lie, the way you guys do things right now is perfect, but I'd love it if you guys implemented a slot for trying out new shows, since you guys mostly only react to things people tell you won't flop later down the line. So maybe a 3-episode rule slot to try out a new show of the season, and if you like it, can be permanent. So we thought about this. We thought about this, Wally. It's a great idea. And what we instead decided on was that Tuesday is now going to be the Bros Just Decide a show.
Right. So if there's a show that we really have a good feeling about, then we can watch that without it needing to actually go through the whole poll process.
Yep.
As for that, like, we've gotten a bit more comfortable with doing things like closer to the time when they are airing.
Yeah,
like,
we were a little worried initially for that very reason that you said, that maybe a show starts out good. Like, what was that Trigger show that everyone was hyped about? And then we actually put it on the poll.
Yeah,
people were like, this is garbage.
Like, I thought, like, oh yeah, this will be genius. People will be so happy to see Darling in the Franxx on the poll, you know, because like,
no one voted for it.
Just going crazy about Darling in the Franxx. And then people were like, no. Like, no one voted for it.
I guess it just took a dive at some point, because people were like, oh, this show is hot garbage. I was like, wow, I thought it was really hype, but I guess we just don't know.
I guess a sister reveal is not the question.
The funny thing, Long Kazuma, is that, like, we have a few siblings, and we have repeatedly
one sister.
We've repeatedly denied them access to videos and everything like that for the very reason that the internet is dark and full of weirdos. We're willing to take on the burden of just having all that for us. But
yeah, exactly.
Do we have a saying on character design, personality, or just take critical decisions? Oh, so
we're not sure how it would actually play out in the details yet, but that is also something that we could do. But
it'd primarily be the critical decisions and then some smaller decisions.
Right, exactly.
But if we wanted to have basically a community-made character that shows up in the future, that would be a very good time to test out, like, community-submitted characters. Like, we take 100 characters that would be, like, the top ones. That's actually a good thing. We might consider this just to have a more public community kind of thing that we can check up on. But then, of course, then it would need community mod support and everything is a Reddit, as a subreddit, basically, for our things there. And then people could submit, like, character OCs for the choose your own adventure story. So it's something we've thought about. Yeah.
One of the, like, okay, for any of you that are Critical Role fans, they did this recently with a character where Matt just made an NPC in a live stream with, like, the fans, and it's one of the best characters ever. Now, he still had to put his whole spin on it and everything, but yeah.
When there's going to be 2 huge groups, one around Mercer and wife and one around Jacob. That would be great. Comic-Con 2019. Well, Jacob went to, was it Comic-Con 2018? Where'd you
No,
go?
I went to Anime Expo.
Anime Expo, and that was
That was nuts.
Okay,
was
so
absolutely
big
crazy.
conventions are kind of scary. So
They are kinda
I'm not
scary.
going to commit to anything big, but other conventions potentially.
But the thing is, Emerald City Comic Con 2019, I will be there on Sunday.
there you go.
know, I have been indoctrinated with how the big cons work. Yeah.
The Star Crust.
yes.
Shy Mesker, y'all are hilarious. Rip Dog and Fortune Teller dude. Oh, they got ice. Yeah.
But the thing is, no, it's
Yeah.
not Starcrust Crusaders, it's Starcrust Deusaders. you need to get the second part right, too.
The internet is dark and full of terrors. Yes, exactly. Happy New Year. Here's 1 a.m. Oh, it's awesome, Andrian. Sweet.
Wow, that's late.
I know. I haven't watched Darling, but I feel it's overhyped like SAO, maybe.
Yeah.
Describe the internet, just insert any Darkest Dungeon quote. Oh, Darkest Dungeon. I've heard a little bit about that recently, actually.
Yeah.
Huh. I meant SDCC 2019.
Oh, San Diego
Would you guys be
Comic-Con.
willing to go this coming year?
I mean,
Let's look into
possibly.
it.
That's
When
actually
is
a good
it
point.
Because it's
Well,
later in the year.
Yeah, but we should actually figure out what's the next con we're going to go to, because you have to plan.
You have to plan about 6 months in advance.
Yeah, and that's starting to cut it close when you're doing it 6 months in advance. So
Yeah, because the trip alone usually is just way expensive. Because con travel in general is just nuts. But if we planned out something like that, like we did with RTX this year, that would be a cool thing we could talk about. Maybe we'll look in, like, keep talking with us about that during the podcast this month, and we'll do some research on some conventions that are like in high demand for a lot of people, so we could have an actual meetup with more than, say, like 2 people, you know?
Exactly.
But having a local meetup with 2 people would still be awesome.
I mean,
that would be really cool.
It's icing on the cake. Yeah.
I mean, don't just follow us home or anything like that.
Well,
Will you consider adding a 3-episode rule slot for Patreon, mostly for seasonal anime, and if you don't like it, you can leave it? Not right now.
Yeah, not right now. Because, again, the tough thing with the 3-episode thing is that then I feel like that'll make us question shows a bit more and be like, okay, no, I don't think this show quite makes the cut.
And that's not who we are, really.
And it's not who we are, but also we could be wrong. And one of the things that would suck is to do 3 episodes of show and then be like, no, I actually really do want to watch that show, and then go back to it. And then it's like, it's way later and all that stuff. And
and primarily we get so much value from, like, wanting to be storytellers by looking to find those things in storytelling that we incorporate and kind of absorb, a la, Ryuko going around and grabbing life fibers and absorbing them into Senketsu, essentially. That's what we are kind of with these stories and stuff. So that whole thing is just something that we wouldn't want to be kind of like, picking out like little things from there and not getting the full experience from there. Yeah. Whoa! Earn as my present 1,500 bits! Buy yourself something nice. Wow, thank you so much! Oh, that's sweet!
You've been really going all out today.
Yeah, you are going...
That's crazy.
Like, going nuts this... this day. Wow.
Thank you. But back on the whole thing, too, like...
Yeah.
A lot of times I will be able to enjoy stories plenty, even when I don't necessarily enjoy them in the traditional sense, because of the things that I feel I am learning by, like, watching the show or reading a book or whatever. Mirai Nikki was a great example of this, where I don't like most of Mirai Nikki, right? But there were a couple things that I really liked about it that I didn't see, like, I didn't think I could find really anywhere else done to the degree that they were done here. So I still ended up totally enjoying the show, even though I would have a hard time recommending it to people as like, oh yeah, this is one of my favorite anime or something. Right. But yeah.
Eclipse already happened, Mesker. Does have to end, though, does it? Wait, what? Okay.
Well, with the laws of causality.
Well, it's 5:30 a.m., so time for me to sleep. Good night and Happy New Year, my boys, and best of luck with the channel. Can't wait for the Monogatari reactions. Thanks,
Thank
Wally.
you. And get some sleep.
Yeah, get some sleep, bro. Like, Happy New Year. Happy 2019. Oh, I think if you reacted to one episode of Hunter x Hunter a week, you would have forgotten even more stuff. The problem is that you simply watch too many shows in a week, and Hunter x Hunter is hyper-dense with information, especially if you want to go in depth with discussing it. It is a fair point. Yeah. I think that the primary issue was we underestimated Hunter x Hunter's actual information density, because if you look back at the beginning, here's the thing. If you look back at the very beginning of Hunter x Hunter, it's not actually that dense with information.
No.
There's a very like high bell curve. Like once you hit about the Heaven's Arena arc, it starts to climb, because that's when Nen gets introduced. And we had a lot of problems with remembering things about Nen.
And not just details, but details that carry over from episode to episode, because basically the plot got a lot more involved. So like if they're talking about the plan of, like, say, the invasion, right? And they're talking about all the different things that they have to do and things like that. Then you have to keep that in your mind from, you know, week to week. So yeah, maybe in that sense the two episodes a week did help out, because we didn't have to wait, like, you know, 8 months to actually like get to the invasion, or however long it would have taken, you know, from whenever they started setting up.
I think the main thing though is that people thought it would be a lack of enjoyment because of certain parts in Hunter x Hunter where the pacing is incredibly slow. And I don't think that. Okay, just something as a little misconception is, well, Jacob and I don't hate slow pacing. What we don't like is when a story doesn't spend time giving characterization to people that they're going to spend a lot of time with. So an example would be like in what was it? I think it was in the beginning of It was in the beginning of the Heaven's Arena arc. They had these bully characters.
Oh, yeah.
And they kept giving us time for them that we didn't really appreciate. And then they also had like a character that Hisoka was going to fight.
Yeah, Castro. Yeah.
Castro, yeah. And we understood what role they were to be in the story.
Right, because it wasn't really about the characters so much as it was introducing Nen as a character.
Yes.
Because of how it'll work.
And that's something that we felt like was kind of a step back in quality for Hunter x Hunter. They were kind of relying on the more kind of basic tropes, but once they went past that and they showed
some amazing stuff.
Then they did some amazing stuff because they used them as stepping stones for other characters.
Right, and I almost feel like that's something we would have an issue with no matter what. Like we know that it's a thing now, so we're kind of prepared for it, but because we watch one episode at a time and then discuss it after every episode, if there are things that don't seem to contribute as much in that episode, then it can be kind of like, oh, okay, we get that this episode's build up, but like, is it actually going to go? And like, when are they going to make good on it? You know, we don't know.
Right, and it's generally good to expect that they will make good on it, because then you end up having a better experience overall. But one of the things that shows that have a longer running format tend to do is they tend to not contain mini stories within the individual episodes, because the expectation is that you're going into
they're telling a
grander story.
Yep.
And that's just something that, you know, we just need to.
It's just the style difference, really, and we have to get used to that. Yeah.
Ramy's biggest 2019 goal: change your channel name to Starcrust Crusaders. By the way, P.S. I don't recommend Shield Hero because it has too much lolly fan service. But please, God, watch The Promised Neverland and Mob Psycho. Okay. So I haven't heard anything really like crazy in any direction about Shield Hero. I've just heard it's coming and people are hyped about it. But Promised Neverland, this is something I keep reminding, because Jacob, I think you're not necessarily as hyped for it as I am.
I don't really know much about it. Okay. I haven't been hyped.
I have a friend who play Ultimate Frisbee with who reads the manga for a whole bunch of anime, but he's like, Caleb, you need to watch Promised Neverland, because he's like, I know you won't read the manga, but at least watch the anime so that I can discuss it with you. Okay. Because it's really good. So I'm like, all right, I trust your taste. You have some quality taste. Like he reads a ton of stuff. Okay. And every time we discuss anime, I'm like, oh yeah, you got some good taste, man.
Well, I will say that I'm so stoked for Mob Psycho season 2.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Missed a couple things. A good example is JoJo. If you only gave it a few episodes, you'd have missed the amazingness that comes after. Yes, right. Absolutely.
And JoJo's was the thing where the fact that people sort of told us, like, okay, don't worry too much about the first like few episodes if it feels kind of like off, was very helpful, because the thing that we always thought about JoJo's just from outside looking in is that show's off. Like there's something strange, bizarre even about that show.
Yeah, and they're like, don't worry about that.
Right, and then because our expectations were properly set because of that, when we went into it, we were able to see all the good stuff that was there, and we were like, oh, no, we love this.
Yeah, there were a couple issues with people kind of you know, and this is something this is an issue with just recommending anything. Me with Avatar: The Last Airbender, I have this problem a lot.
Oh yeah,
is I'm like, Avatar: The Last Airbender is the GOAT. Like, you know, like I'm constantly like screaming that from the rooftops. And the problem is no, it's not. It is to me, but it's not. It's not. There's nothing empirically accurate about anyone saying this show is the GOAT. You know, you're wrong usually, and that's okay. It's just, in your opinion, this show means so much to you that nothing else pales in comparison.
To think of, if we were to put this in the perspective of like a romance story, right? You don't want to have your character be head over heels in love for the other, romantic interest right from the get-go. No. Generally, you just don't want to have that happen.
Tease them.
You need to tease it. You need to let it, build and, slow burn and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that way it can be a discovered thing, which is what Avatar: The Last Airbender was for us, and that's probably why we love it so much.
Right. So one of the things that, is kind of tough is we just want to make sure that we temper our expectations when people are really thrusting recommendations on us for specific things.
And that can make it kind of difficult, because then it's like, okay, well, how do you know what actually to watch,
Well, generally speaking, you can look at the masses enough and go, when the masses start to basically just, push something and it just kind of rises to the top, there's a reason for that. And even if it's just a popularity thing, that's fine.
Right, because then what you do is you look at what are the other things that they also recommend, and then you say, okay, these are probably have a similar feel, at least, even if they're totally different kinds of shows.
Right. When people recommended Made in Abyss to us, there was this very real sense of
urgency.
Not just urgency, but people talking about it in a sense of awe.
Right.
Like, they were surprised by it.
Like, it instilled this sense of wonder in them, and it's like, okay, that's... Got to check that out, because, one core show, in sense of wonder, all right, sign us up.
Yeah, exactly.
Vinland Saga.
Yeah, Vinland Saga. Yep. We've heard a lot of good things about that.
Yep.
You consider doing discussion videos on shows or movies you've already seen?
We have definitely thought about that. We've kind of used the podcasts as sort of like a pseudo surrogate for that, because that way we don't have to confine a movie to just one podcast necessarily, but we can talk about aspects of it and things.
Okay, cool. Whoa, Promised Neverland is a Shonen Jump manga, and I think it's ranked 5th under Haikyuu and Black Clover. So part of the reason there's hype, apart from its great story.
Okay.
So it's selling a crap ton of manga.
Right.
Okay, that's good to know. I have tons of friends who've been hyping up The Promised Neverland. I haven't read anything on it, so I'm getting excited for it as well. Also, sorry if there is a frequently asked question, but will you guys be reacting to Mob Psycho Season 2 as the episodes come out? So we don't talk about timing on things, usually, but we will react to Mob Psycho Season 2.
Yeah.
I will say, though, people that react to Mob Psycho, let's just say... we might end up definitely having to do timer-based reactions for it. I have talked with many other reaction channels, and Mob Psycho 100 Season 1 was a nightmare for many people with regards to how quick their channels would receive really aggressive copyright action from the parent companies, essentially. So if we do Mob Psycho 100 Season 2, we might do it a little bit after it comes out week to week, but if we could do it,
if there was as far as ones that we would want to
we would want to do week to week, yes, that is one of them.
We need to see Reagan again. We need him in our lives.
We've missed this show, guys, so we understand the hype for sure.
What was it? I'd want to hear their thoughts on such things. I know they like Star Wars and Avatar. Would be curious their thoughts on Cowboy Bebop as well.
Yeah, we talked about Star Wars a little bit in the podcast.
Right.
We've talked
you know why
a
we
lot
like
about
Star Wars
Avatar.
And Avatar. But for something like Bebop, the thing that I think makes Bebop so good, other than just its overall atmosphere, because the atmosphere is huge, right? The music and everything, and the animation and stuff, but the characters are really where it's at, right? And I personally don't care as much for the episodic style of storytelling that Cowboy Bebop does, but those characters are fantastic. And,
they are.
And basically any time that, so many of the episodes are character focused that it's amazing, right?
Yeah.
And then that ending, what is there to say about that?
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I watched that early on in my anime journey
because you would have been spoiled.
Because I would have totally been spoiled on that.
Yep.
And
same.
Watching that for the first time, it was just like, what more is there to want from an anime? Like
right.
how can I take what they did in Cowboy Bebop?
It was Firefly the anime.
It was Firefly the anime, and it actually had an ending, and an amazing ending. You know, it's like how do I incorporate that into my own stories? Like that's like because what they did is such a big no-no, right? For the most part,
right.
So the fact that they did it and they did it so well, it's like how do you steal that? You know, like how do you take that and do it in your own way?
Yeah,
but yeah. Oh.
Viridian, also my anime of the year, is definitely Place for the Universe. I'm so happy to watched it. Thanks. Yeah, so good.
I just found out that apparently Yuzuki in Place for the Universe is the same seiyuu as Shoko in A Silent Voice.
Wow. Yeah, I hear it. Yeah. Dang. All right.
Found that out and I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. It makes me want to
by the way, don't worry so much about JoJo Part 3. Part 4 and onwards is amazing. That's where Araki's writing in the series goes from good to the legendary series it is now. Gotcha. Because there's a lot more parts in the manga than just like what the anime is doing part 5 right now.
Part 7 or something?
No, it goes longer than that.
Are they at Part 8 now?
I have no idea, but it's like it's a lot. And yeah, I've heard that basically what Part 3 has is that it gets us into stands, and then from there on, like Araki has the actual foundation to just go go crazy with.
Yeah, because the things he does with stands in Part 3, like while there are issues that I have with it, like say wanting more like character focused episodes or whatever, the stands are so great. Like,
yeah, they're fun.
They're so much fun.
We hear about SSS Gridman. I've heard about it. It's not really high on our list right now. I haven't had a lot of recommendations for it. My top 3 this year was like Devilman, High Score Girl,
and Bunny Girl Senpai. I've never heard of High Score Girl.
Huh?
That's interesting. I wonder what that one is.
JoJo Part 3 has been hard for me to get into. I don't think it's just the stand. I don't think it's bad. It's the stand of the week format just hasn't managed to keep my interest. It's a shame because I really loved Part 2 so much.
I think it's big shoes to fill coming after Part 2. Like
I think they need to do a more linear story. Just moving forward. You can have episodic stand of the week stuff there, but you need more.
You need more continuation and like you need to have things from previous episodes that still like are relevant in the next episode and things like that.
Like if they had just cut down the amount of story and just made them get across the world faster and added more things that are relevant to the conflict with Holly, because that was the primary motivation for all this, and then also brought in more campfire scenes essentially where the Joe Bros talk about like either being under the control of Dio without Kakyoin, Avdol's fear of Dio, Joseph kind of concocting plans and how he's trying to stay like emotionally grounded because he's scared for his daughter, and then just give Jotaro actually some character development. You know what I actually think it'd be tough, but I think
what I think is the biggest reason why Part 3 had an issue with character development is not actually because of the stand of the week thing, because when I think about Part 2, it still had that sort of issue, like. It was still like, okay, what's the conflict we're going to have this episode, right? But they had fewer characters, which was huge, right? Because then they could focus on them. And 2, in Part 3, they almost every episode when the new stand is introduced will separate the characters. So then you basically don't even have those characters in this episode, and then just focus on the person that has to fight the enemy stand user, which means you can't have interaction between your main cast. Right.
A lot of the time in Part 2, it was actually a lot of just talking back and forth at each other.
Yeah, just the banter like during the fights and stuff.
Yeah, and it wasn't really about the fights. It was like every encounter was a puzzle that they needed to solve.
Right.
And Joseph's whole thing was, I talk my way out of everything. So we got to see how other characters would react to him talking about it, how other characters would respond, and then initiate their kind of meta talking game, kind of thing. And it was just fun. They're both fun, but the thing is that Part 2 was carried by having a simpler story, not a simpler story, a less character.
Right, there were fewer variables, basically.
Fewer variables, And then, of course, the Pillarmen were just amazing.
I mean,
Wham was just the best. Like,
and I mean, with an entrance song like that, what can you possibly compare?
Mad B-Max, hello everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome. Glad to have you. Heck, did I miss the stream? No, you did not miss the stream, Gooey. I believe that's you. Yes, you're dark blue, but yeah. No, we're still going. Oh, these are the manga sales. One Piece at the top. Attack on Titan number 2. Yep, Slam Dunk barely behind it.
Slam Dunk's number 3.
Whoa, wow. That's the basketball one. Yeah, and then Haikyuu. Wow. Kingdom. I've heard about Kingdom. 7 Deadly Sins. Is that high? What?
Now I'm curious.
Oh, and then Promised Neverland. Dang.
Is this for currently, or is this for?
I think this is like the last month or the last year or something. Yeah. 8 million doesn't seem like a monthly thing. That seems like a yearly thing. Yeah. Dang. Okay. It's at part 8 right now. Whoa. Wow. Okay. High Score Girl sounds like a fun anime if you're into fighting games.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So it's probably like playing some arcade games or something. And
nice.
Gotcha.
Oh, High Score Girl was something that just released on Netflix. Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Have you heard of Otome Isekai? It's a subgenre of Isekai where the main character is born into the body of a character in a dating sim. Target women, yes, plentiful enough to be a subgenre, and some are actually really good.
Wow. The fact hilarious. That Isekai isn't even a genre anymore. It's just a grouping
plot
of subgenres.
Yep. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hey guys, any spare time outside reactions you should watch? Hilda on Netflix. It's such a feel-good, wholesome show. You guys would love it. Okay, thanks.
Thanks for the recommendation.
Pol's Bizarre Adventure. Part 3 is still mainly influenced from Fist of the North Star style. Gotcha.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Part 1... I mean, part 2 as well.
But part 2 is, I feel like part 2 is basically like, we're like, okay,
we're going
Joseph,
to, or no. Yeah, we're going to make everything.
Jonathan, yeah.
Yes, we're going to make everything opposite of Jonathan.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's kind of good. And I think they basically reverted back to more in the middle between Jonathan and Joseph by having Jotaro be the Clint Eastwood, badass, essentially.
I feel like Jotaro is almost like aware of the fact that Jonathan and Joseph were supposed to be opposites, and he's like, how do I make myself stand out?
Oh, just be edgy.
One, I'll have a stand. Yeah. That's really cool sounding, yeah. And then 2, I'll be edgy.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, when you read or listen to Araki's interviews, it really doesn't feel like he's going for a masterpiece, but just to do whatever he feels like or things he's interested in. Yep.
Maybe that's a lesson on life and how, you make masterpieces. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder,
Yep. Exactly, and we as the community end up making something into more than it originally was intended to be because we come in with all this extra value perceived, because of our experience with it.
Speaking of beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Gunslinger 14 or 24. Remember Bleach, kids? Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I still hold the episode 342 was a great episode.
We have talked about Haikyuu Season 4 being announced. Yes, we are hyped to the umpteenth degree.
We don't care about Haikyuu Season 4.
I was shaking. No, I tweeted it out. I was like, guys, it's out. And I couldn't sleep for 4 hours or something. I was up to like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. Haikyuu, it's back. It's back, y'all.
Like, I was like,
my voice.
What was it? It was like midnight or something when like we heard about the announcement. And I was like, Jacob. And I'm like, what? Oh my gosh, that's awesome. It's late. I'm going to go to sleep. And then just...
Junjin69, if you don't use Discord, I would either recommend DMing me over Twitter. Don't try to spoil me on it. Just give like a very basic recommendation. There's a lot of filters I have through the DMing process. So there's this whole list of blocked messages that I'm like, I can't go in there.
Yep.
But or like the person said below, leave a comment on the Patreon community area.
Yeah, if you're on
just
Patreon,
say like, I recommend this show. And we have a super list that we don't show everyone, but there's like a ton of shows where we're basically just aware that, okay, these are all a thing, and then we draw things from the top of the list that we're wanting to see and put them into polls and stuff, and that's how.
And one other thing, if you like make a comment in the YouTube section, we can't really go in the YouTube comments, but if you say like, hey mods,
hey mods, pass this along to them.
I really think they would like this show or whatever, because people could have just forgotten to recommend the show to us. Who knows, right? And we don't know for sure that will like get to us if it just ends up getting lost potentially.
Right.
But
Oh my gosh. Gooey engineer. Oh, rewind topic. Well, I just started watching anime this year, late January. So for me, my top 5 anime I watched this year have been No Game No Life, Zero. Nothing has topped this yet. Konosuba, Place for the Universe, Made in Abyss, and A Little Sister Is All You Need. You absolutely need your white whistle and degeneracy before you're allowed to watch this one. Monogatari will be giving you your red whistle. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a great Made in Abyss reference, but like, oh my gosh.
And but No Game No Life Zero, okay, because someone sent us the movie for that. Actually, it might have been you. I don't remember who it was, but I haven't watched it yet, so I'll need to check that out.
Oh my gosh! Thank you so much for the 500 bits. Erwin is my president. He's still just going crazy here. 2019 is going to be a busy year, especially for good anime. Yeah, wow!
Like it's
yes, it is.
From what we've heard, it's going to be pretty stacked.
Like just like around May, like that month, and around April and stuff. That's going to be crazy.
Like just the shows that we already know are going to be good.
Like the sequels alone.
Yeah, the sequels and stuff will make it amazing. But then there's all these other shows that will probably be very good that, you know, are new. And
Junjin, we'll be doing a Hunter x Hunter full series discussion podcast like very soon. It'll probably be the next one, actually.
Probably, yeah.
So, yeah. Just stick around for the podcast on the week to week, and one of them will eventually be a Hunter x Hunter one. Oh, it's rewind time. If I control rewind, I'd want Doki Doki and Joseph.
Joseph Joestar and Doki Doki Literature Club.
Okay, I will try to insert the protagonist as Joseph Joestar.
That certainly would have made the YouTube rewind video much better if it was just like Doki Doki Literature Club and Joseph Joestar.
But that none of that has anything to do with YouTube.
I know.
I really liked the PewDiePie rewind video. That one was really good. Shout out. Go subscribe to PewDiePie.
Yeah, that's right.
I understand what you're saying, Remy's, but we don't have a lot of problems with JoJo's because we understand what makes JoJo's fun. It's It's not about going in depth into like crazy storytelling and stuff. It's about having ridiculously over-the-top characters doing ridiculously over-the-top awesome stuff.
Exactly, and because we can watch it just for like those things, that makes it so that when the other stuff comes along, like the recent episodes we've had with JoJo's, then it just sidelines us and we're blown away by how amazing it is, right? Because it's just extra, right? It's all gravy at that point.
Oh, Susaname says Japan's most popular text board, 2CH, voted A Place for the Universe as Anime of the Year. I'm telling you guys,
yes,
we have good taste. Place for the Universe is the Anime of the Year, or like, whatever.
We can have faith in humanity because there are people out there that recognize how amazing Place for the Universe is. Like it's
so good.
Yeah, it's
so good. Okay, go back through all the anime that you've watched this year. Has there ever been a show this year where every episode was perfect? Like every episode was basically like, you know,
like the only episode that I could rag on in A Place for the Universe is episode 4, and that's not because it's not good. It's just because it didn't completely blow me away when I watched it. Like,
it was just good. It was just good. It was just a good episode.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like that was the episode that had the shut talking now. Wasn't that the one that had that? Yeah.
That's the thing. Like everyone's all talking about like in anime, like the new waifu, best girl of the season or whatever. Every girl in the Place for the Universe is best girl.
Right.
Like,
and the thing is, and here's the thing that's great is that it didn't feel like they were trying to win a best girl.
No,
they were just trying to make a great story, and because they made a great story with great characters, then all of them are best girl.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh man. Hinamatsu is pretty amazing. Okay,
we've heard a lot of good things about that. Wasn't I think Amanda, the person who runs the channel, was in Hinamatsuri. She got some role doing something.
Oh, that's right. You met her, so you're on a first name basis.
No, not really. But I did meet her. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
Oh, already wrote this above, but I need to get this recommendation across. From a bro to another, both of you need to watch The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix. As someone that has a very similar taste to you guys, this is one of the best live action shows I've seen in a long time. Please watch in your own time if possible. Reaction. Anyways, just please watch it. LOL. Okay, we'll check it out. Yeah. I will say though, I am not a haunting horror kind of person, just in general.
Well, the name just makes me think of the haunting or the Betrayal at House on the Hill or whatever.
Yeah, the board game. Which is a
really fun board game. Yeah, Yakuza 0. Okay.
Yeah, I know you guys want it. There's who is it? Hinjin on here, or Junjin was wanting us to do Yakuza 0. Well, that's the thing. As we said,
that was
Thursday nights now are the Let's Play Twitch stream night. So Doki Doki is coming this week, Thursday night. Yeah. Hit that follow button so you stay notified on when that happens and stuff.
Ping pong the animation,
Well, I have avoided Place for the Universe because it looks too normal. What makes it so special? I know nothing about it.
The fact that it is normal.
Right. Like
that's it, and it might sound strange, but it really is that.
Well, also I would say that the characters are like okay, there's characters, okay, and they're girls. And they have their little drama, struggle, conflict, slice of life kind of story thing here. Each one is done and presented almost perfectly. Like, I cannot say with any certainty which character was my favorite. Like, I cannot. I can't decide. Like, they were all so good.
And here's the thing. I can't even say, I can't even start to order it.
Right.
Like not that I can't choose who, which one is my favorite, but of the 4 of them, they're all right here. I could not move one up or one down. Like, they're all fantastic.
Yeah, that Dr. Women Respecter, exactly. We mentioned that. The New York Times article. The best television shows of 2018 listed A Place Further in the Universe as the #8 best international show of the year.
Across the entire rest of the world. Yeah.
Just let that sink in. Let that sink in. It's good.
It's amazing. Not to overhype it, but it's just
Madhouse Studio original anime. Like, if that alone doesn't hype you up, like
it is so good.
Also, it's 13 episodes, right?
Right. So it doesn't take any time.
Just a little bite.
Yeah.
Just go enjoy it.
And you can share it with anybody. Like, really, you can share it with anybody.
Made in Abyss is getting an OVA here in the next month or so. Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard anything specific about that other than I'm not sure if it's even new content though. Yeah. As Shai says, isn't that just a recap movie? I think I've heard that it's actually a recap movie.
Gotcha.
Unless you're talking about something else. I'm not sure.
Iwashi-san, A Place Further in the Universe suddenly popped up in so much Singapore news, social media for their almost perfect portrayal of Singapore.
Whoa,
that's awesome.
Dang. That's the other thing. It has realistic world setting, but it also goes into the idea of what their whole journey is that they do and the realism surrounding that. And then also the realistic portrayal of young teen girls trying to basically find their way as they, grow up and stuff. Just the writing, the dialogue, the music, the presentation, all of it. It's just it's a good show. Oh man. All right.
Place Further in the Universe either resonates with you or it doesn't. For me, it struck a sense of adventure. It struck a sense of adventure chord very well. Yeah.
Yes, totally.
Well said, Gooey.
It definitely hits that part of you that's like, when I was a child and a young one, I used to dream about doing crazy things.
Exactly. And it makes you, or for me at least, it made me want to dream more, and just go out there and do things, be productive and get stuff done. Yeah.
Oh, Chibisphere, that's actually an interesting point. I get the feeling each brother would differ on which version of FMA they prefer. The funny thing is that you're kind of right. Jacob, you appreciate the original FMA way more than I do, right? Because you've talked about the merits of
way more, yes, but I still like Brotherhood.
We both like Brotherhood more.
But but there are some episodes in the original where it really is a tragedy that they aren't in Brotherhood. Like there's an episode where where basically
Brilliant.
Ed almost dies.
Yeah.
Ed almost dies.
Yep.
And it's after the Sho Tucker arc, right? And he's absolutely shaken by it. He comes to terms with the fact that he was terrified for his own life, right? And just truly terrified. Like, not like, oh, I must be courageous, but just no, he wanted nothing else but to not die.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely incredible. It dissects the whole idea of the fact that they are kids in the military.
Yeah. Viridian here, though. I don't like making grand statements like this, but A Place from the Universe might actually be my favorite anime of all time. Like, I honestly can't think of anything I've liked more. I should stop before I get too much into fanboying over this anime. See, guys, it's really good.
It's just
this is great
so
too.
wholesome and heartwarming.
When I watch the new message received, new message received, new message received. Yeah, it literally broke my soul. Yeah. Giga stopped making videos and traveled for a couple weeks after finishing it. See,
wow.
See, this is
right.
the thing.
Yeah.
This anime might be just a good story for you. It might be just that, and that's okay. You'll recognize its quality and presentation, all that, but you're like, it won't move me or anything. But
there's the chance.
Yeah, there's the chance it could move your soul. Like it's you can screenshot any part of A Place for the Universe and find it copy for copy on Google Maps.
Okay, I don't know how true that is, but it's
kind of true.
I believe it.
Yeah. Oh, Caleb, have you played Divinity Original Sin 1 or 2? I recommend it if you have not. The funny thing is, El Greco, we are actually going to be doing a Divinity Original Sin 2 co-op Let's Play after Doki Doki Literature Club.
Right.
So, yeah. I've played none of them, but I know plenty about the second one. I know plenty about it in terms of like mechanics and stuff. Oh, wow. Thanks, guys. I've been contemplating whether I should watch A Place for the Universe or not. Now you convinced me to watch it.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a good point. The original FMA has better directing, lighting, music. It doesn't make a height joke every episode. That's the point.
The height jokes do get a bit much in Brotherhood, but the show's still amazing.
Yeah. Wait, now that you have finished... Eric Walt, what are you talking about? Now that you finished Ancient Magus Bride, do you recommend it? I want to start it, but I'm hesitant.
So Ancient Magus Bride has its flaws, but it also has things that it does that almost, like, I don't know another show that does, and it does those things very well. So if you're wanting to go into something that you can, like, critically try and attack and find no flaws, well, I would say you shouldn't try and do that for most any story, but Ancient Magus Bride is incredible.
I would say Ancient Magus Bride is a show that is an experience, but the story is not anything to write home about.
I didn't like the second half of Ancient Magus Bride nearly as much as the first half.
Okay.
Right? But there were episodes where, I mean, it would just bring me to tears. So if you're wanting something that has that sort of, like, really mythical feel for the magic, and in a modern setting, no less, then watch it.
Yeah, totally. Someone was saying A Place for the Universe reminded me so much of what I felt when I went on a trip to Australia with my friend. It brought me back to that trip and made me appreciate it so much more than I already did. Even the times where I felt uncomfortable and inconvenienced. Trips like that really are a whole experience that you either love as a whole or don't, and they stay with you. Absolutely.
Totally know what you mean. I also went to Australia, and yeah.
Oh, man. I want to see The Place for the Universe dub already. It'll be too fast. No one will be able to dub it. Yeah, the like, speed at which the girls speak.
The dialogue is so snappy. It's like
I don't even know if they could do it properly. It'd be nuts. I still think the subs you use for The Place for the Universe sucked. On your spare time, watch it again with better subs. If you thought the dialogue was so good in bad subs, imagine it in good subs. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Wait, what? No, that's funny, Darwin. Yeah, that's funny. Wow. Swing indeed. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, this stream is still going on. Yeah, we're about to end it, but yeah. Oh, what's your top 5 favorite anime this year? Oh, not this year.
Just top 5 favorite anime.
How about of the ones that we're reacting to this year? The ones that we have reacted to and did react to. Let's just think of 5, not in any order.
All right.
I'm going to put Made in Abyss right up there. Made in Abyss for sure.
Place for the Universe.
Place for the Universe.
And let's say
Haikyuu.
Sure. And let's say no sequels. So no like
sequels.
So like if it's something that we watched this year that
MHA or
Attack on Titan, can't do those. Haikyuu. I want to say GTO. I'm not entirely sure because it might just be like
I would say Monster.
Monster is.
I would say Monster and Kill la Kill.
Yeah. Okay. No, Kill la Kill is definitely on there as number 4, and then as number 5, I'm not entirely sure. It could be GCO. It could be something else. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ancient Magus Bride is a fantasy anime that is not an isekai.
Right.
So,
like, yeah.
Like, guys, this is something that's actually starting to bug me a little bit, is that I feel like every fantasy anime that comes out nowadays is just an isekai.
Like, there were even, like, what was it? There was one, I think it was How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon or something like that. Not at all, totally misleading title, but it was actually like, you would think it was an isekai, but it actually wasn't. Like, it was like an isekai for all intensive purposes that sort of predated the isekai trend. So it was still just, no, this person was born in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
But
the thing is that there are a bunch of reactions that we've done and stuff, but the ones that kind of stuck out with us and are still kind of moving us. Like, I didn't mention, like someone said, I didn't mention Violet Evergarden, but I also didn't mention like Ping Pong the animation. Or stuff like that. So those ones are really good. But the thing is that I think,
I don't know.
I think
which one of those would be the fifth one? Because I feel like now that those are mentioned, one of those would have to be it. But like, yeah, I don't know.
See, that's the thing. I also feel like with, you know, talking about the reactions and stuff like that, there are feelings that I can't communicate with you guys perfectly about how it still has like touched me and stuff. So I'm not going at it based on which one I thought had better story or whatever, but like there are specific moments in all of them where it just I don't know how to describe it. It's just really, really good.
I think number 5 would probably have to be Ping Pong. Yeah, that Christmas episode is so good. The ending, but the Christmas episode especially, like that is something that I want to watch every year coming up to Christmas time. Like it's so good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Remy's is having trouble. You're trying to find the files for Monster, which the bros have. So that's the thing. Monster is in licensing hell. You know, you can't get Monster anywhere. The main thing is just as long as that when you start the episode, it just starts, you know, with the beginning. No like intro things or whatever, and then it still has to have the actual OP in it.
Then you're good.
If you have that, that's basically what all of them are. So there's not any garbage in the beginning where it's something that they're trying to recommend, you to whatever. So
Saga Tanya the Evil, that was a fun one too.
Yeah, the thing with Yojo Senki was
it was fun. Like
it was a really wacky, fun concept that shouldn't have been that good. Like it really shouldn't have been that good. But they just Studio Nut, man, they did a good job.
Oh, okay, quick, rate Kon Wenge as a husbando right here, right now. 5 out of 5.
Kong. Okay, here's the thing about Kong.
Like, Happy Christmas.
Kong
out of 5.
Kong found his way despite losing it in the beginning of the series, and that's all you need in a. It's all so you need good. In a husbando,
and the thing is,
I'll say 4.8 out of 5 because there are so many things where it's in his potential, not in actually in the character that we saw.
Ooh, oof.
Hey,
big
I'm
oof.
Taking 0.2 off.
No, I know. But the thing is, for Kong, it was something that a lot of the characters in Ping Pong, I feel like were. To me, they ended up basically being almost like warnings of like, this is how something good can go wrong.
Yeah.
And with Kong, he was very dedicated to what he was doing. He cared a lot about his mom and everything and stuff, but he ended up getting arrogant and stuff, and then he lost it, right? He lost that thing that he obsessed over. And then it's this idea of like, can he put his life back together? Is that thing really his whole identity, or is he still him, apart from that? And that was like that Christmas episode, just it hit that idea on so many different levels that I just
Someone said, did you not take Hunter x Hunter into account because you started reacting it last year? That's kind of it.
That's
kind of it, yeah. And also I think that Hunter x Hunter, I still have trouble rating it as a show overall.
Right, because it almost feels like it's a bunch of different shows that are put together.
It's a bunch of little shows that
the arcs are so big.
That have some characters that cross over, like
Gon
and Killua, the Phantom Troop.
Yeah, it almost seems like more like a Marvel Cinematic Universe type thing than like an actual single show.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So like, the the Chimera Ant arc, like, absolutely would go up there as, like, one of my favorite reactions this year.
Well, here's actually a good question. Now that it's done,
oh yeah,
do you prefer? And maybe this is something best saved for the Hunter Hunter.
Let's save it for that. I know what you're going to ask.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm going to talk specifically about
we
that.
Can save that
in
for
the Hunter Hunter podcast.
Yeah.
Do you want to just say right now? Let's just tell them next week's Hunter Hunter podcast. You know?
Sure. Yeah. Next week's Hunter Hunter.
Okay, guys. So make sure to be here next week, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for Hunter Hunter podcast, and we'll talk about the entire show.
And we can answer the question of York New or Chimera Ant arc.
Yeah. I'm going to cheat the thing there a little bit, so you won't be surprised, but I think you already know how I'm going to answer the question now, right?
Yeah.
But it'll be great. Yes, but exactly. Eclipse tomorrow. So guys, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the first day of 2019, we'll be getting to Berserk Volume 13, I think. Yes, and the eclipse is happening. So the absolute mad lads that we are will be trying to not scream in horror and terror and, just kind of throw the volume at the wall when things happen. And looking forward to seeing how the manga explains how the bloody hell Guts actually is alive.
Well, I think at this point, it's okay. The fact that we got Skull Knight facing off against Zod outside
I know. We still have to know how that goes.
I think that kind of explains it. But
my body is so hard right now. Like I'm so ready for Berserk. Like
so you're saying we couldn't even play the Kill a Kill track before my body is dry because it's already too late?
It's too late. It's too late. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for this podcast here. It's been ridiculously fun. Looking forward to the new year with you.
Movie 28.
Embrace the darkness. Exactly. Yes.
Yep.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We'll be putting this VOD up on YouTube eventually and stuff. And I am making sure that the Berserk VODs are getting onto YouTube correctly now. So thank you so much for that. But we'll see you all tomorrow. Until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.